Good evening everyone, welcome to Lazy Mini Painting. I'm Laz, and this is the first Models and Musings of 2026. So, I thought I'll do something not quite different, but a little bit more interesting, I hope. Anyway. For those of you who are watching on portrait mode, thank you for joining me. For those of you who are watching me on the horizontal mode, thank you very much for joining me as well. And you can see I've got my beer mat ready for Sparkles to make me a brew. Hint, hint, hint. Now, I will come over and join you in portrait mode in a moment, which should be that notification that I've just got. How good is that, eh? How good is that? So, just before we get started, some of you may have noticed I have some new friends. Now, you might have watched earlier on, which is great, and you'll know what these friends are. If you did not, then my new friends are my ninja potatoes. Yes, you heard right, they are ninja potatoes. Now, we have two named already. We have Nick and we have Mandy, because I figured neither one of them two wanted to be a hairy ninja potato. But that leaves the hairy ninja potato left. Now, just so I can show a little bit better, I hope. They are ninja potatoes, see? They do have masks on. All of them, including Mandy there. And we have Nick. See? Little Nick popping his face in. You see a bear. You see a bear. Well, they're not bears, Nick. You know full well what these are. These are the ninja potatoes. Now, you're here. And Mandy's here. And now we just need to find a name for the hairy one. So who should we name the hairy potato after? That's something we can decide later on in the stream. We don't have to decide that right at this very second. Although, I do have to find the box that I'm doing tonight. Now, this box is a staple for anyone starting a Space Marine army, which is the Space Marine Intercessor Squad. You're going to be the people going, but Laz, you've got 70 odd of these already. Yes, I know. How you doing, Silvers? You alright, mate? And Ricky, hey, nice to see you over there in the portrait mode. Thank you very much for coming to join us. Yes, I know, I have 70 odd of these already. And hello, Ali, good evening, good evening. Yes, I know you're not getting a potato named after you, Ali. You have quite possibly the biggest fan favourite model that I've done for the Models and Musings named after you, so I'm sorry. Your name has been taken out of the pool for potential names for the hairy potato. But I am willing to take ideas and suggestions for who the hairy potato should be named after. But while we're doing that, I'm going to be putting together some intercessors. Now, I'm going very, very old school in my method of putting these together. I have not got any snips that I should actually have. I have wire cutters. So this is going to be a very beginner-friendly setup. Very, very, very beginners-friendly. So you don't have to have snips. You don't have to have, I mean, even just a standard file is what I'm using. I'm not using any specific modelling files or anything like that. So, pair of wire cutters, a file, and then and a craft knife. I'm going to have to find a craft knife. I did see one earlier, and it's down there. It's down there. It's the red handle one. So I'm just going to nip and go get that. Back in a sec. There we go. See? And a craft knife, just to help get rid of those extra burr bits. Thank you very much, Ali. This is a bit of a quick one, but Francois, good evening. Lee, hello, good evening. Thank you both very much for coming to join me. So, if you've never done these before, this is how we do intercessors. Now, the reason I've got 10 intercessors is once I've built these, I'm going to go looking through my other Space Marines and find some of the easy build ones. Graham, Twisted, Mick, Joey, Lee and Silvers. Right, we've got a list started already. Thank you very much, Ali. Right, I need a pen. So, Harry, potato, names, and already we have had, Graham, Twisted, Mick, Joey, Lee and Silvers. Silvers has an L in it, doesn't it? Does help. Right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's almost perfect for a D6 roll to find out what it's going to be. Any more comes in. Good evening, Nira. Hello, and hi, J-Raw. J-Raw? Aha. I'm about to build a 1-to-1. Oh, you're going to build the Enterprise. The 1701 / which model? Are you doing the no A, B, C, or bloody D, the original? Or are you going to go for, is it one of the newer ones? Are you going for the D? C? The remade? Ooh, that's a tough one. Your prince is a potato. Yes, it is. I have 3. I have 3 potatoes. And they're all ninjas. So be careful. Hello, Erica. Hello. Thank you for coming in. So we have 6 names so far, which are all, yes, they are all viewers. So I'm also going to throw Francois in there, because it's currently on the screen and I can spell it right. C-I-S. No. O. C-O-I. S. There we go. So we've got 7 now, so I need at least another one to do a D8 roll, or another 3 to do a D10. So the more I get, the better. And you'll take part in Loyalist Iron Warriors. I wasn't aware, like, learn to speak, lads, learn to speak. I wasn't aware that Iron Warriors did have Loyalists. But I suppose you can technically, if you wanted to, have Loyalist ones. An 8-inch bit, I couldn't do with it. I mean, what I've got at the minute is barely stuff around there, but it does me, Describe or demonstrating a spiral galaxy. An airbrush is going to be needed first of all. You have a concentrated point of white in the centre, and then you choose your spiralling arm colour outwards. And you airbrush slowly in spirals to come round. Usually, hopefully, something with a very fine white going through it, and then expanding out like blues or pinks or something like that. Then you get brush like this, and a little bit of white paint, and all over it for your stars. And if you want any bigger ones, you just kind of cross them in with something sharp if you need to. No, it's not difficult to do a galaxy. So what do we get in this big old box of plastic? First of all, you get your 10 bases. They are very important because that's what they have to stand on. And then we get a lot of pieces. We get 1, 2, 3, 4 sprues. 4 sprues for 10 models. So is there anything else in here? There is instructions. There is instructions. Now, they're not necessarily clear or necessarily in the correct language in some cases. so it doesn't actually tell you fully what they are. Northern Karma. We're up to 9 so far. We've only just started. Northern Karma. Northern and Karma. Okay. Ideally, I would like it to be people who turned up more often than not. So, okay, Northern fine. Karma, he's not really here that often, so he might get a reroll. You did yours by hand. Yeah, but I'm lazy mini painting, Francois. If I can find a quicker way of doing it and a lazy way of doing it, I will find one. Except for barricades. Barricades can go get fucked. Time traps, just no. No. I thought they would be simple. I really did. But the fuck. No, they're really bloody not, are they? Right, so he's giving me instructions on how to make the majority of them. She's putting the bodies together, putting the legs together, and then sorting the arms out after the fact. So there's 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10 to build up that way, and then you've got to sort all your arms out afterwards. Good evening, Joey, and good evening, Graham. You have both been put down for being the hairy potato, but it's not been decided yet. See? Hairy one. Hairy potato. I look a lot different on the portrait mode than I do on the... yeah.
You look like a ghost.
I look like a ghost, apparently. Maybe I should turn the light down a bit, just to... No, that's up. There we go. Is that better? Do I look less like a ghost now? I mean, I can't see as much because all the light's gone. I know what's gone. I know what's different. I know what's different. I know what's different. Oh, EB. But, yeah, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. EB makes 10. So I can run that on a D10 if I need to. And I'm missing the main light, which is why I'm looking all pasty pale. Not that I'm not pasty pale, because of course I'm pasty pale. But yeah, now I shouldn't be looking quite as pasty pale, or I should at least look like I'm human. Semi-human, maybe. Ah well, one thing I have noticed though is that because I've turned the light up, I can't see portrait mode. Hello, Robot Boys. What am I doing? Tonight I am making 10 Space Marine Intercessors. Because I need to chop up easy build Intercessors and then convert them into Desolation Marines. Which I have all the missile launchers and stuff for. Kind of. I got a load of missile launchers printed from Rogues Den Hobbies. So if you wish to go there is a 10% discount code, which is LAS10. Pardon me. But I will be, converting 10 easy builds into missile launcher guys. But I still want 75 intercessors. So I've bought 10 more intercessors so I can change them over. Which means I get to use absolutely jack diddly squat when it comes to this. I don't really need these. I might use some of this side, but I don't really have enough of them to do the entire army on one little sheet like this, so I doubt I'm going to use them. So they'll go up with the cards. Rogues Den Hobbies, yes, for the win. Anyone wants to do something for the win, you go to Rogues Den Hobbies. You will get a unique army that wasn't built for Warhammer 40,000, so don't think this isn't the army that I would have got for 40k. It wasn't built for 40k. They weren't put together for 40k. However, that being said, they make some absolutely wonderful proxies, providing you're not playing in official tournaments. Not allowed in official tournaments. Are a bit bigger than general Space Marines. If you went for the Makwas or the Space Dwarfs, they're a little bit bigger than the Voton as well. So just be careful, just remember they are not a 1-for-1. You will have to be playing with quite a relaxed game group to be able to use them, but I use that many proxies that anyone wanting to play against me generally uses one of my armies anyway, so I'm okay with proxies. So, how do we start this? We start this by getting the instruction manual back out and having a look. So we've got 2 of these to build, and so that means we're going to have 2 10s and 2 9s. Oh joy. And I've got to try and find them on them without wearing my glasses. How about I put my glasses on first, eh? Well, I don't know the Space Dwarves exactly scale for scale, but if the Macquas and the Space Bears are anything to go off, they're going to be marginally bigger. I am not renaming it Powder Paint Space Marines. I do not do the Powder Paint Space Marines. Mine are black and blue shoulder pads. Because, well, lazy. Right, so, if we're looking at this, we're looking for the numbers in these corners here. And in this case, that's the number 10 and that's the number 9. But, as I said, I have not got a standard pair of snips. I've got wire cutters. Just so, if you've never done this before and you're wondering, well, I haven't got a pair of snips, a good pair of wire cutters will do just as fine. They might be a little bit difficult on the smaller pieces, which is why I've got the knife out and the file out. But overall, a pair of wire cutters will do you just fine. Just snippy snip, and just be careful as you're going in, because you don't want to snip anything off that you're not supposed to, particularly near his crotch. He won't be happy with you for that one. Not that Space Marine. I don't think Space Marines have any reproductive systems, but you know, just in case. I think they still need to go for a wee every now and again. Instructions? We don't need no stinking instructions. And I do, because it's been quite a while since I've actually built a Space Marine. It's been a few years actually now, because I've been concentrating on so much other stuff and the other armies, and I do need a little bit of instructions sometimes. And it helps with other people who do need the instructions and they might not be able to read it. So if I read it out, so it's like part 9 and part 10 go together, somebody else might be able to see it and go, oh, that's where I was going wrong. That dumbass actually got something right for a change. So let's just file down the nubby bit on his shoulder, just to get rid of that bit, because otherwise that's going to get in the way when we're trying to put his arm on. And same again on this side. It's probably the most care I ever take on a Space Marine. So once you've done 9 and 10, I've got his body together. You're then looking for 11 and 12, which are going to be legs. Well, there's 12, which is the front of his leg, and there's 11. So I'm guessing 13 and 14 are going to go together, which are these two, and then this one and this one are all going to go together. So let's clip out number 11 first. I don't know something, these wire cutters are going through a hell of a lot better than my snips do. These are just dink. Nope, that's nothing. Get it out of my way. And just cleave it straight through. So 11 and then 12. Why they've separated this part of the leg, I have no idea whatsoever. All the other Space Marines in the past came with them all together. Just legs, all one bit. Done. Just stick the torso together and throw the rest of it on. Hello, Casey. Okay, is it Casey? Cassie Banks. Hello. As well as SushiZilla Media. SushiZilla. This is a very strange person putting together little plastic models. If you're familiar with the Warhammer 40,000 franchise, I am building Space Marines. If you are not familiar with the Warhammer 40,000 franchise, I am building genetically modified human super soldiers. All to play a little plastic game. So we're going to dry fit the front of his leg, just to make sure I have actually clipped off the right one, which I have. See, it'll go on very nicely there. And is it actually going to come off? I hope it comes off, because I've got to glue this in yet. I think, yeah, so I'm not sure. So, he's not coming off. Oh, there we go, there we go. We got it, we got it. So on his actual leg, he does have, let me zoom in a little bit, he does have this little nubbly bit here. Now that will clip in and hold the front of his leg in place once we've got it in and glued properly. There we go. And now we get with the file again, just to remove any rough burrs from where we've snipped it off the sprue. I'm looking forward to about 2 weeks to go before I get to paint my special model.
Sushi's asking what chapter.
Chapter, Sushi? I have my own chapter. I am a salamander. They are salamander successors. So, jet black skin, bright red eyes. But they're not green. They're black with blue shoulder pads. So they are currently in the process of possibly being changed from the stone dragons to the stone bears because of the things that I have bought from Roast and Hobbies, and it's a lot of bear stuff. So they probably will be turned into the stone bears. Not a problem, Twisted. Not a problem. Not Twisted Silvers. You are going to post a whip in the Discord. Excellent. I'll go take a look at that soon. But as it comes to my chapter, if you're familiar with the lore, there is the drop site massacre, where the salamanders, the Raven Guard, and the Iron Hands essentially get blown to living hell by the traitor marines. So mine are made up of a single small unit of salamanders that managed to escape into the warp onto a transport. But with the warp being the warp, when they got spewed out right in front of the Indomitus fleet. So they were in there for what they thought was only a short time, but ends up being a really, really, really friggin' long time, like over 10,000 years. Oh, well, probably not over 10,000, a few thousand at least. And then when they pop out in front of Bobby Girlyman, and that's his official name, Bobby Girlyman, he realises who they are. They recognise him because they fought alongside the Primarchs, and he bolsters them up to a full chapter and allows them to go back to Nocturne, meet up with the salamanders, get re-equipped with the actual salamandery stuff. So yeah, lots and lots of flamers and melters. They like setting things on fire, but they're really friendly people. Got to remember that salamanders are the friendly ones. Everyone else don't give a crap about general populace, really. Salamanders, no, you save the human. That's what we're made for. That's what we're gonna do. That's why I wanted the salamanders. But I also like having my own chapter, because metas change, and if you have your own custom colour scheme, then so can your army. So that's my theory behind it, that's my processing behind it, and that's why I have custom chapters, or custom chapter. But I also want to make the full custom chapter, so it's not like I'm just going to make a combat patrol or a 2,000 point army. No. I have 12,000 points worth of Space Marines. I can field most units at least once, if not 2 or 3 times. So I am making a full custom chapter. Which is interesting. I was gluing to my fingers. Stop. Right, so there's body number 1. So what I'm looking for essentially is this exact sprue again, which they don't do. Right, that looks like it's going to be a pretty much a copy of that one. So is this one pretty much a copy of... No, of course it isn't. Right. So now we've got to find another 9 and another 10 on all of these somewhere. See, there's 30 odds. And there's 80 odds, so it's not them. There we are. Right, so they're pretty much the same sprue. And they're pretty much the same sprue. So you get 2 copies of the same sprue. Oh! Thank you, Ali. I've not put the rest of the playlist in there. I think we're up to issue 60 something now. Oh dear, I've got a lot of playlists adding to so I can get that. There's a lot of playlists. That I've got to add. I've got a lot of issues to add into that playlist. I think we're up to issue 60 something now on the Combat Patrol. There's a lot of issues missing from the playlist, that is, not necessarily from what I've done, because there have been some that have been double issues. So I've done 2 streams in one day and I had to miss one from the week before, which isn't a bad thing really. It just means I do 2 streams in one day. I do a build stream and I do a lore stream, or as I call it, the reading bit, because I'm just reading from the magazine. So we put both of them 2 together, so we have another 9 and 10. Okay, Ali, you have a wonderful night and thank you very much for calling in. Good luck at work tomorrow. Hopefully it's not too stressful for you, because I know work can be stressful, and anyone who doesn't think work is stressful has got a really good job, one that they enjoy. So let's snip off the 11 and 12 to make up his... I don't even know if it's his left or his right leg, to be quite honest. That looks like his right leg. 11 and 12 looks like the right leg. 13 and 14 in the left leg. Just got to be extra careful with these snippy bits, because I'm not using real snips, as I said. Does mean I have to do a bit of filing though, just to clean up any nubbly bits. Nubbly like this. Don't ask. The voices are coming out again. I'm trying my best to keep them in, but they're coming out again slowly but surely. My best paws beer, Matt. I'm so chuffed with that. Oh, I've just got a message that I can only respond to on here. Just respond to this is. Oh dear, I can't type like this. Hopefully that goes through. Hopefully it goes through. And that's Alio. Alio. I've got many people thinking, why is Ali getting so much attention from all these people? Ali supports a lot of YouTubers. Ali supports a lot of YouTubers, and none of them are particularly big. So every one of us is very thankful for how much support she gives us. Right. Because Ali gives us a lot of support. Because I still technically have an ongoing thing where if you buy me the model and want me to paint it for someone to send to them, I will do that for you. And I was the only person so far who's took me up on that offer by buying the Knight from Roseden Hobbies. And I sent that over to Dan at Arias in the Nation, who lives in America. So, I mean, obviously you pay for everything barring my labour, in this case. I just get to paint it on camera, that's all. So we both get something out of it. You get to send somebody a nice model that's been painted by someone who you believe is worthy of painting, and then they get a nice model that's been painted up afterwards, and yeah, everybody happy, I believe. Well, that's the idea. But Ellie's the only one to take me up on that offer so far. And it isn't by no means a professional service. That's the wrong leg, you absolute buffoon. You've not even clipped the right leg out, have you? Nope, the correct leg is there. I've not even clipped the correct leg out, and I'm trying to glue the other thing onto it. Do you want to know something? If I had brains, I'd be dangerous, wouldn't I? At least that's what Sparkles says. Under her breath, where I can't hear it. Not that there's anything wrong with me being able to hear it, she's just very polite and kind. Oh, pardon me. Pardon me, I do apologise for that. It was not a nice noise. Now I know my mic has a bit of a background noise at the moment, which is actually my PC. I can't seem to move my microphone any further this way towards me now that I've moved it onto its own arm. So it's sat very close to my computer itself. So that does leave a little bit of a background noise going. But I can usually drown it out quite easily. Just by talking, because I'm louder than my PC. You paint your own. Well, Silvers, of course you do. Of course you paint your. But check Discord. Oh, right. Okay, sorry. We have something on Discord. I know putting Space Marines together is not always the best and most enjoyable. So there is something in Discord. Toyota Corona. Hello. Welcome joining in. Work in progress. Oh, loyalist, they are shiny. Yeah, I've got that term. I've got that Terminator Captain as well. It's a good. Ooh, that's an interesting looking cloak, but I do like the shininess of it. Okay, that means I have to do that. Ha! I'm figuring out this internet stuff, you know. So here we have. Let me just check that it's on screen for everybody looking on the portrait mode. Yep, it is. It is. So this is if you're on the Discord server, you can go check out yourself. But these are the loyalist Iron Warriors that Silvers is painting. So we have the Terminator Librarian, we have the Flamestorm Aggressors, we have the Flamestorm Aggressors and the back of the Terminator Captain. Now we have the front of the Terminator Captain with a very nice blue Tyranid head there on the floor, and then you have the 5-man Terminator squad. Very much, apart from the 3 aggressors, very much what you got in the Leviathan box set or in the new starter set for current edition. Great sculpts. I have the same sculpts. I cannot dispute those sculpts. They are absolutely wonderful. They are good. Oh, that's brilliant, Silvers. So they identify as invisible. Their pronouns are who, what, and where. That's just great. That's just cheered me up. That is funny. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so now we have 2 more to make, and they are both 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21 to do the start, which is the same 2 sprues we've just been using, but just in this section instead. So we've just cleared out most of that section, and now we get to clear out most of this section. Lucian, my religious beliefs have absolutely nothing to do with this channel. Because as far as this channel is concerned right at this moment, there is the God Emperor. And if you do not believe in the God Emperor, then you are a heretic. And the Marines are going to come and get you, along with the Custodes and the Grey Knights and the Inquisition. Aside from me streaming, my God is my own and my God is personal. You can believe whatever you want, you can believe in whoever you want, I have no qualms about that. But right here, right now, the God Emperor is supreme. Unless, of course, you believe in the Star Children that are going to come nom 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 you when it's too late. But that's a different matter entirely. Nobody wants to be nom nom nommed. Or, if I'm painting my red ones, then it's Khorne. Blood for the Blood God. Skulls for the Skull Throne. But all made up deities in regards to this channel. We try to keep it quite whimsy and not very serious if we can. And if we really want to get into it, yeah, my ego's that big enough. Thank you for calling me God. It's about time you all realised. Yes, I have an ego that big. I just tone it down a little bit for the internet. Most people dial themselves up. I dial myself down. It sounds weird, I know. Hey, yo, Buzz. You okay, Chief? Are you on the list? If you're not on the list, you're going on the list. Graham, Twisted, Mick, Joey, Lee, Silvers, Francois, Northern, Karma, EB, Buzzard. Buzzard, you may end up being the airy potato, mate. You may end up being the airy potato. See, I don't have any Nurgle. So if you go over to Silvers, he's all about the Grandpa Nurgle. So Buzzard makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I need one more name and I can roll a D12. If names keep flying in and I get all the way up to 20, then I'll roll a D20. But that is going to be how we find out who's the hairy potato going to be. We've got Nick, we've got Mandy, and now we've got the hairy ninja potato to name. No, which... it was this sheet I was clipping out of. It was this one. It was this one. Then we need 19, which is there, and 20, which is there. And you're in the big one now. You're in the big one now. That means you can see. Can you see my cup in the big one? Oh, you can't. Hey, I mean, you can't see my cup. It's the one thing that does your head in most, isn't it, Buzz? Buzzard, you do not like seeing my cup on camera because my cup gets extensive usage. But I can't. Was you in earlier, Buzzard? I can't remember. If you wasn't, guess what I've got? Guess what I've got? Courtesy of Nick Trukadelic, I've got Bear's Paws Beer Mats. Now this one's in a little protective sleeve because I'm using it as a tea coaster at the minute. That's the only reason it's in a little protective thingamabob. So wait a minute. If I'm Khorne, we've got Silvers who's Nurgle. Do we have any Tzeentch or Slaanesh collectors? I mean, technically I have a singular Tzeentch model, but it's unofficial because it's a female sorceress, and we all know they don't have female Space Marines, so she ain't right, is she? So I'm now trying to figure out, do we actually have a female sorceress? And I've gone from it doesn't really matter because I've started clipping out from one set, one sprue, and Science wants my Science can't have my cup. As soon as it goes in the lab, the alarms are blaring. Biocontamination. Complete lockdown. Nobody leaves the building. Well, how is that man alive? He's been drinking out of that for how many years now? I do wash it. It just doesn't get washed as often as Beaky would like. Which would probably be after every single brew I have. I have what's called a seasoned cup. Now, if you are British, you will understand, or British of a certain age, you will understand what a seasoned cup is. And it does make it taste better. It just makes your brew taste better. And clip that leg in there. And then put this torso bit together. And I have been bouncing around the two sprues because they do give you two copies of the same sprue. And I've clipped the leg out of one and the body out of another. Because I is smart like that. Oh, that's a good idea actually. Silvers, if you happen to find any proxies somewhere. So I don't want the official models because obviously I've got Angryron, not Angron. I would like to proxy the other 4 Chaos Primarchs are dedicated to a god. That would be nice. 21 and 22 off the one that I've not clipped the body out of. Just so I can remember where I'm up to on each one. Helps if you don't start messing around with sprues too much. But actually I've just realised, if I get a Demon Primarch for the other 3 factions, that means I'll have to build a 2,000 point army for the other 3 factions as well. And I can already feel Sparkles' gaze burning into the back of my head as if to say, no, you're fucking not. You're not getting 3 more fucking factions. You have like 6 or 7 already. But it would be nice. But then again, I also want Tau. No, I don't want Tau. Don't want Leagues of... No, I'm pretty good actually at the moment for the amount of factions I have. But there are still 1 or 2 models that are just nice. And it would be nice to paint and nice to own. And there are some of those models I would actually be able to... No, Graham, I'm not doing Leagues of Votan. I have sent all my Leagues of Votan over to America for EB to paint. For EB to paint, not me. Sparkles scares you. You have got to be the only person on the planet who Sparkles genuinely scares. She's the most mild-mannered, polite, easygoing person I have ever met in my life. There's a reason why near enough 20 years ago I fell in love with that woman. And even to this day, I still love her. She's just fantastic. You can't be scared of Sparkles. The only thing you've got to be scared of Sparkles is... There's only one reason to be scared of Sparkles. And that's because she has hold of my leash. And that's the scariest thing about Sparkles. Because all she has to do is go, no, go deal with it. And that's me off the leash, then I can go do whatever the fuck I want. And she'll just go back in the house and make herself a cup of tea and just leave me to it. Other than that, you've got nothing to be worried about. As I said, you've got nothing to be worried about with Sparkles. Sparkles is... The scariest thing about Sparkles is the fact that she's got me. Essentially, a trained human dog who she can send out to attack whoever she wants. And I have swords and axes and hammers, and I like them. So... And I also grew up on a council estate, which doesn't help. So, hitting people with axes and hammers and stuff, it's almost second nature. Oh, Ali has just put a video up. If anyone wishes to go and have a look at Ali's channel, Ali's channel is a very eclectic thing. Very, very eclectic thing. It is Monday, Buzzard. It is Monday. took me a while to realise it as well. It took me a while to actually realise you put it on the portrait thing, because it's right at the bottom where I can't actually see it. I need like one more thing to knock it up properly so I can see it, and it becomes clearer. Amazonian ladies. You're getting me into your fantasy stuff now. Told you the next one I want out of the fantasy stuff is going to cost me an absolute bleeding fortune. Even with applying my own 10% discount. It's going to cost me a fortune because I want the dragon. I want the dragon to scare the shit out of all the players. That's what I want. We get the last 4 on Thursday as well. Last 4 models. And that only means a bit of scenery work. Oh, the cats. Oh, that's not what I want. That's what Sparkles wants. I want the dragon. Sparkles wants the cats. 2 guesses which one we're getting first. Put it this way, it ain't the lizard. And I'm going to be painting however many cats she buys in whatever styles and species she purchases them in. I would say I'm dreading putting you two together and contact, so you can contact each other, but obviously you can through the Discord, so I can literally be cut out of that conversation completely, and I just see them turn up one day, just like the Cats and Catacomb stuff. Good evening, Twisted. I hope everything went well. Obviously you can type. I'm not going to ask. Is it still no at the moment? Are you still capable of functioning because they've give you some good shit, or are you now going, I need some more good shit because that wasn't good enough? So now we need 19 and 20 for his leg. Hey, we're getting through these bodies and torsos a bit quick. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. As I said, this is a beginner friendly one, so I'm not using any official tools. Normal wire clips, normal blade, normal file. So if you are young and you do not own your own toolbox yet, ask your dad or your mum, whoever owns a toolbox, and then see if they'll let you let you borrow the wire snippers. As long as they've got a nice decent point on them and a nice flat back, you should be alright. So, oh, you looked out, Twisted. That is awesome. So no pain bits today. Just schedule more pain bits. Well, that's a nice added bonus, I suppose. You was expecting pain today and now not getting it. That's not bad. Oh. So there's still quite a lot of work to do then. I agree that Silver's depending what time I finish this stream, depends whether or not I go watch wrestling and essentially do that. Because I still watch WWE, or at least keep up with it to a degree. I don't like Coronation Street because they don't hit each other with chairs. They do in WWE. And they do flippy dippy doo dah shit. And pretend fighting. Don't tell me it's real fighting. Fair enough, landing on the things hurts, but it's still pretend fighting. So I'm depending what time I finish here, depends whether or not I can go watch that. But this is the priority. 10 Space Marine intercessors. No sergeants. Do not build any sergeants, because I have enough of those bloody things. I think I've got about 11. So there will be a couple of sergeants being hacked up to make Desolation Marines. Well, not Desolation Marines as such, but Space Marines with rocket launchers that are bigger than a Devastator squad. That's what it's going to be. They're taller than a Devastator squad, and you've got slightly different missile launchers. Because, yes, I have missile launchers in my Devastator squads as well. My las cannons are all in my tactical squads. Well, 2 of them. So I've got 2 plasma cannons, and then 2 with heavy bolters. Gotta have a variation. Gotta have a variation. Because what? I think it's the melter guns going with the las cannons. The plasma gun goes in with the plasma cannon. Of course. That line his leg up, hopefully right. There we go. Takes a bit of twisting and a bit of manoeuvring just to make sure that the peg goes in. These Space Marines love a bit of pegging. I should rephrase that, shouldn't I? I'm not going to, but I should have. And then we get his leg locked right into his hip joint there. There we go, there we go. That gives us 4 torsos. 4 out of 10 done. One more hour and you can drug. I don't, they do. I'm the one that pegs them. I understand how the dominance thing works, and I ain't the one that's getting dominated, let's put it that way. Good luck to any country who wants to try, because you'll be losing more bits than you went in with. Right, next one is 25 and 26. Then it's going to be 27, 28, 29 and 30. So they're all in this nice little section here, which means it'll rinse and repeat for this section and this one. I like it when they actually get the numbers right. Hachette can learn a lot from the original company that made this crap, can't they? Right, so I'm not actually using these 2 at the minute. I'm just going to move them out of the way because they're cluttering up all this. So we get 25, which is torso front. And that just pops just so nicely out of there. 26, which is torso, back and hips. Helps if I come through from the other side on this one. So being careful enough, because you've not got proper snips like I'm using right now. Direction that you come in to make the snip makes a big difference. So, spot of glue around there. And then pop that in there. Now, while I'm doing this, and obviously I'm rambling on with all various stuff, can I ask a question? Is anyone going to ChillCon this year? Apart from the person that I know is going to ChillCon, so I don't need you to say so, because you're the reason I'm asking. Because I know one person's going to ChillCon this year, but I'm wondering if anyone else who's in England, obviously, going to ChillCon. It's in March this year, in Sheffield, if I believe correctly. Or is it in Birmingham? Is it one of them? Nice big gaming convention. Now, I won't be going this year, sadly, because, well, I'm saving for something rather large. You're getting a Warhound Titan, Silvers. You're getting a Warhound Titan. You're getting a Warhound Titan. You do realise I'd end up getting divorced before I even get married if I got one of them. Sparkles isn't happy that I'm getting a Goliath Rock Grinder, and that's small compared to a Titan. So right, ChillCon is in Sheffield. and the UK Games Expo is in Birmingham. Right. So is anyone going to Sheffield for ChillCon apart from Graham's Hobby Corner, who's just sat there and shouting me 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 me? Graham, I know you're going. You're the reason that I'm asking. Because if you are going, please go check out the Rogues Den Hobbies actual stall. Because he will be having a stall there. So the Macquamarines will be on display. Some painted, some ready, some not. So you can see them in grey, so you can gauge it up how you're going to paint them yourself. As well as a lot of the fantasy ranges and some very, very pretty dice. Very pretty dice. Sadly, the discount code does not work in person, so please do not try to go last 10 while you stood there talking to him, because he's going to go, yeah, I was online, and you're going to look at him and go, oh yeah, you're definitely one of Laz's mates, aren't you? And that's how that's going to end up. So please don't do that. Last 10 does not apply at ChillCon. That is an online only exclusive. But that doesn't mean to say that the stuff that he's going to be selling will not be worth your while. Because if, like me, you want some bespoke Terminators, or you would like some interesting Dreadnoughts, or you play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons and you want player characters, NPCs, BBEGs, and all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff for Dungeons and Dragons, he will have them on display for you to see, as well as stock for you to buy. So please, if you are at ChillCon, go give our Graham a hello. You will also be able to pick yourself up one of the nice, snazzy little coins that I have in my wallet. Now, when Graham made these, he made them with the idea of, these are going to be my business cards. So it's not a standard card. It's gonna, but if you scan it with your phone, you know the NFC thing on your phone, it'll take you straight to the website. But there's something I pointed out to him, that because it's an NFC tag, that if you have it in your wallet and one of these dodgy bleeders with their little scanners comes up for your card, they scan the coin instead. So they think they're getting money and they just get sent to our website. Graham gets the hit, helps his algorithm out, and they get really frustrated. So it's a bit of a double whammy there. Not only do you get a quick access to Graham's website, you also get wallet protection. I think it's much cheaper than buying a Ridge wallet, or one of them other brand of wallets that say that they're gonna protect you from scammers and scanners. So I carry mine in my wallet all the time now. As soon as he told me that, yeah, it's activated off NFC. Ooh, what now? Oh, that's good. And that's when I decided, yeah, I'm having a bit of that, and I'm leaving it in my wallet constantly. Permanently. This is a residence in there, except for a small brief instance this afternoon when I took a picture so people could see what it looks like. Pelican, waterproof, floats, and damn near indestructible. Well, the NFC tag is plastic, so yeah, it's waterproof, it floats, and damn near indestructible. Shame that the wallet is in fabric. So that is not waterproof, that does not float, and that is very much not indestructible because it is wearing out already. I do have a spare. In fact, I have my original wallet before I got that one. My mother-in-law bought me that one, so I thought I'd use it for a while to save my wallet with the pictures of my kids in, which I use very rarely. That's the wallet I use if Sparkles goes out and takes the stuff with her. Tiny bit of cash in it, done. It's resin, not plastic. Well, it's still not gonna bloody break, is it? And it looks more like a wax seal, in fairness. So the fact that I didn't call it wax is a miracle. And the only reason I didn't call it wax is because I dropped it. And it didn't shatter. It bounced. So that's why I thought it was plastic. So it's resin. Right, okay, so it's resin. I thought it was plastic. Resin works still, though. Resin works. It's the little chip in it more than anything that stops people from scanning your wallet. That's what you want. And the quick and easy way of going dink. What do I want off Rogues Den Hobbies this time? I'll take 10 of them, 5 of them, and 1 of them. Discount code LAZ10. Boom. I can feel you looking at me. Why are you looking at me like what?
Hope you're not planning on buying anything soon.
No, I'm not planning on buying anything soon. I know we have just over 9 months.
10.
We're on the 5th today
Yeah, it's on the 17th.
of the 10th,
Yeah.
and we're on the 1st. So just over 9 months. Yeah, I think that's right. Can someone do a bit of dating for me? From now till October, even though October's the 10th month, would it be 9 months or 10 months? So take it from now, the 5th of January, up to the 5th of October. Is that 10 months away or is that 9 months away? Once this wedding is done, Sparkle's card is getting hidden. Oh, she's done silly things, Graham. She's done silly things. I can pay by PayPal. Silly, silly Sparkles. How do you think I bought the last one so quick without actually being able to say anything? You have a gnome? Please just discard the gnome. Just remove it. Gnomes should not be allowed anywhere on the planet. Unless it's on a driving range or a shooting range. And that way they can go pop and break. Gnomes are nasty little horrible creatures. And I know there's going to be people sat out there going, but the lawn decorations or the garden decorations. Yeah, that's what you think. You look at the one with the fishing rod that's not sat near any piece of water and wonder why he's smiling. Because I did, and I realised he's up to something no bloody good. Don't like gnomes. Prefer goblins to gnomes. Prefer dwarves to gnomes. Pretty much any other mythological creature I prefer to a gnome. Gnome should be extinct. Pardon me. What's in that box up there? Oh, that's my Gene Stealer cults. I did not watch David the Gnome growing up. Is that an American show, Twisted? Because if that is an American show, then there's a good chance I didn't get to see it. I watched things like Visionaries, Jason the Wheel Warriors, He-Man, Thundercats. You know that era. I do not know who David the Gnome is. I do not wish to know who... Actually, if I've ever seen it, it might be the reason I don't like gnomes. I'm tempted to go find out who David the Gnome is now. But I know I'm not going to like it. So... See, I prefer pixies, sprites, halflings, leprechauns, fairies, fae, goblins, orcs, trolls, ogres. All better than gnomes. And if we're talking not the real ones that exist on the planet, if we're talking dwarves, prefer them as well. Prefer them over the knife ears. But knife ears can be alright as well. I usually play a half knife ear just because, well, I am one. You can't see properly unless I look directly at the camera. But this is a bit spiky and this here isn't. So I is half elf myself. Yeah, as a poet and didn't know it. I is half elf myself. So I can't throw too much shade in their direction. But I do prefer dwarves to elves. You watched all that and David the Gnome. I don't know. Can anybody in England specify, or UK, sorry, not necessarily England, because Ireland and Wales are part of it as well, I suppose. Get off my island. I'm joking. If anyone in the UK can let me know, did we get David the Gnome? Or is this something that and if it is, have I just severely missed out on something here? That might have actually changed my outlook on gnomes throughout my entire life now? Or did we not get it and my hatred of gnomes is justified? I'm going to guess that that is a picture of David the Gnome that Twisted has just popped into Discord. So I'm going to go find out. Discord. General chat. That is not if that's David the Gnome, that's fucking terrifying. If that's David the Gnome, that is terrifying. That is very terrifying. Somebody's just joined the Discord, but they're not in. Okay. At least he looked like a real person, though. They do look like a real person, so that is a good sign. Oh. Can you read that? Yeah. After the wedding, Graham. After the wedding.
Right, I'm gonna go zoom in now and read it.
Yeah, but there's not much you can do now. She's zooming into read it. On his back is two little... No. This is why gnomes need wiping out. Nasty little bleeder, isn't he? Nasty little bugger. He's got a bottle cap on one hand, shank in the other, and two little kids on his back running around chopping out of shit. No, not child friendly. Sort your neck out. David the Gnome needs to sort his neck out. 2, 4, 6. Oh, cool. So now we're on for the 30s. I don't see any torsos on there. And I don't see any torsos. Well, it's the same one. So we've stripped them two of torsos. Which means the last two torsos are going to be on 2, 4, 6. No, the last 4 torsos are going to be on these ones. A Nuki Brown ale cap, bottle cap. Ooh, a Nuki Brown. No, you could go better than that. You could go full deathly and just go for something like a Coca-Cola bottle cap. Give them all diabetes. Hello. Vukashin, hello. I'm not actually painting anything tonight. I am putting together primary Space Marine intercessors. The painting may come next week, or it'll be modifying next week. These are just replacements for ones that I need to chop up to put missile launchers on. So I need to make the replacements. So that is what I'm doing tonight. Building replacements. So we've got the 30s, which is 34 and 33. So we've got one Marine down here, and we've got one Marine over here. And then we've got all the little bits that go with them, like guns and hello, Cole. Yeah. If you're gonna go for a bottle cap, you don't go for alcohol bottle cap. You go for something that's really gonna do damage. So you go for Coca-Cola. I'm the first person to what? Pronounce primary space marines? The good thing is it was made from the English language, and me being English, it helps. But intercessors, and then desolation marines. That desolation marines are the end goal, but to make them, I've got the missile launchers and things, but I need torsos and half arms. So I'm going to take all the easy build ones, well, not all of them, but a good chunk, a fair few, 10 of them, and I'm going to use the easy build ones to make the desolation marines, and these ones are going to fill in those extra blanks, but be normal intercessors just so they don't look all the same. I've not got like 7 of those and 11 of those, and yeah, it helps. It does, and it just gives me a little bit more variety in what I can field out. I mean, I've got 70 odd of them. It's not like I'm running out. I don't think I'll ever field 70 odd intercessors. Well, 75 if I'm going to be exact. 75 scouts as well, so I don't think I'm ever actually going to field them all at once. But if it ever comes down to somebody else wants to play Space Marines and wants to play them against my Space Marines, if I can put a little like second company logo on one and fourth company logo on the other, then at least we can tell which ones are which. Or one can just go heavy armor if they want, and go all Gravis and all Terminator, which would be fun to see how the the Hellblasters, the Intercessors, the Assault Intercessors, and any of the Phobos style stuff goes up against the heavier stuff. That could be an interesting battle, because obviously you're going to get a lot more Mark 10 armor than you are, Mark 10 standard armor than you are going to get for Mark 10 Gravis or Terminator style armor. So you're going to have more bodies on the field, but they're going to be a lot tougher. They're not going to be as maneuverable unless you take the Inceptors, which are only a 10-inch move, but compared to the 5 that the rest of them will all have, that's the big difference. But then again, if the other side's taking Phobos, you've got Suppressors, you've got Reavers, you've got Incursors and Infiltrators. So there's a big old selection you can go for if you're looking for the lighter Mark 10 armor. That could be an interesting one. I mean, nobody would get to use the Dreadnoughts in that case. Or maybe one Dreadnought each side. See, that's not a bad idea, Twisted. How much? In fact, I'm not even sure how many points I've got in Dreadnoughts. I've got one of each of the new scale ones, and I've got 2 box Dreadnoughts. So I don't think I can do a 2,000 point army. But I believe that might be just about good enough to make up a half chunk of an army. But I do not have any of the new Tech Marines. Maybe I should put them on the wish list instead. Because I believe at the moment I've got heavy intercessors on there, because I do not have enough. I only have a 5-man squad. But I have 9 aggressors, 6 eradicators, and about 45 terminators, so it's not like I'm running low on heavy armour. Well, I say 45, I've got 30 at the minute that I can field. I've got to sort the other ones out with lightning claws, which I may have to speak to Al Graham about around about November, December, to try and get a set of, well, 10 pairs of lightning claws. And then I'll have 10 pairs of lightning claws to go in the Grey Nightmare torsos, and that'll be awesome. That'll give me a full army of Terminators. And how can you not want a full army of Terminators? Now, I'm going to skip ahead because I'm just going to do this sprue and then do that sprue, because it'll be easier. So 41 and 42, which are the torso. Oh, I'm sat weird now, aren't I? I'm sat right bolt upright. And we're still waiting for a couple of names for the Airy Spud. The Airy Ninja Spud, which arrived today, courtesy of Positive Mental Attitude. If you wish to go check the channel out. There was an opening video earlier on today, which I did link the channel. And I may just still go and link it again anyway, just because, well, Nick and his community have been a very big support for me pretty much from day one. There's been quite a few people who have come over from there to give me just a helping hand, just a bit of company while I'm chatting. So it is very much appreciated what Nick and his community have done for me, and just as much as EB and his community, which some of you are still here. Thank you, Buzzard. But there are plenty of other communities that have helped me out, which is why Nick and Mandy have got their names on them already, because Mandy made them and Nick sent them to me. But he sent me 3, and one of them is a hairy one, a proper hairy potato. And if you ever hear me say the phrase happy fucking potato, here's also where that came from. 43, 44. No worries, Nick, no worries, mate. You have supported my channel to a ridiculous degree for somebody who does not do the hobby, and that means a lot, because I think I'm the only person in your community who does this hobby. And you, Mandy, Ali, Kirsty, so many of you that have helped out, in some in small ways, some in large ways. Even Buzzard, I believe, was part of that community as well, although he mainly came over from Eclectic Birds. Twisted found me on his own, as did Silvers, and Joe, and Francois, and Cole, and Vulcan, and there's quite a few people who found me on their own, but it's still a lot of people have come over from your channels and other people's channels. I remember now, Twisted, you were working on that first. Oh, I sent you the apothecary bits, didn't I? I forgot about that. I sent you the apothecary bits because, yeah, your first company will have an apothecary, because it's run by apothecaries, isn't it? Is it scorpions you're going for? Red scorpions. I may have got that completely wrong. Please correct me if I have. If I haven't got it wrong, then awesome. I actually got something right. By memory as well. Jeez, I'm glad you're all sat down. I'm glad you're all sat down when I did that. I did something off memory. I didn't think I had one. Now I think about it, I've sent quite a few things around this planet now since I've started this channel. And yep, red scorpions. Boom! 2 shots on my memory. I'm done for the evening. Right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, so we have 2 more left to build. And both of them are on this sprue. So one is there and one is there. Getting through fairly quickly. It's now 10 to 11. I've been going for nearly an hour and a half already. What's gone on? Why did all this happen? Time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it? And a lot of this is technically muscle memory. As I said, this is not the first time I've put a set of Space Marines together. Having pretty much half an entire chapter, I've put 1 or 2 together. I was just doing the reading out mostly for people who have not, so in this case it is PAL 33 and 34 again, and then we're going to go to the 41 and 42 section, and that's when it's going to start wanting us to put special weapons on things and stuff. Now, even though I said I wasn't going to make any sergeants out of this, if by any chance I have a power fist or a hammer, somebody's getting one of those. Now, I can't seem to see a power fist or a hammer on these. I can see lots of people going, ugh, pointing and being all authoritarian. Lots of people with rifles, lots of shoulder pads, even a couple of combat knives, tags, and we have underslung shot. Oh, we have 2. We are definitely making the 2 underslung grenade launchers. That'll give us 3 of them. That's good. We want underslung grenade launchers. We definitely want underslung grenade launchers. So we need to find out whichever one gets them and make sure we make the 2 of them. Make sure we make those 2. I only have 1 at the moment and they are very useful. So if I'm fielding 30, that means I can at least put 3 on the board. In fact, if I'm fielding 15, I think I can still put 3 on the board. But that's a different matter. But I don't think I've ever built an army where there's been that many intercessors in there, unless it's just been a solely intercessor force, which would not fare very well. Unless you happen to stick lieutenants in everything to give them all lethal hits. So this time we clip out 37. Was it? Yeah, 37 and 38, and then 35 and 36. Of course, I've gone in the wrong order because I never do anything right. But I thought you got power fists and stuff with the sergeants in these, but apparently not. I'm rather gutted about that. He's not too happy about the fact that I didn't get any power fists with these. Or any thunder hammers. Or any power swords. No close combat melee. No real close combat melee. So let's get this guy put together. And then we're going to quick nip over. I'm going to put positive mental attitude pinned onto the YouTube section with, obviously this is where I got the spuds from. If you would like your own spuds or beer mats or bottle openers with ring pull thingies off them, that is the place to go. But especially if you want the spuds, if you want the furry spuds, you have to go see Positive Mental Attitude. He is your hairy spud dealer. That doesn't sound good, does it? Hairy spuds could be construed as something else, couldn't they? So yeah, ninja taters. That's what they are. If you want a ninja tater, go see Positive Mental Attitude. Not a hairy spud. Don't call them hairy spuds. Doesn't sound nice. They are hairy though. Well, one of them is. One of them is very hairy, and he's the one who's not yet been named. But will be named by the end of this stream. I need how many more names? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. I need at least one more name of a subscriber, please. So we have Graham, Twisted, Mick, Joey, Lee, Silvers, Francois, Northern, Karma, EB and Buzzard are all the names that have been put forward for who should be the hairy tater. Please don't take offence if you end up being the hairy tater. No love spuds either. No, definitely not any love spuds. I didn't even think of that one, Nick. Love spuds. Yeah, they're not love spuds. These are sneaky, silent assassins. Oh, yeah, I've just clocked what time it is. It's nearly 11. So if anyone's watching from Europe, then that means it's probably nearly midnight for you. Thank you very much for being here. Because you are staying up quite late. I mean, it's late enough here in the UK. Obviously, if you're over in the States, it's still quite early. It is still quite early. Right, clip him. Open that. I am going to do that. Look for Positive Mental Attitude. And it is attitude, not attitude. There it is. And then you right click copy. I go find my stream. This is the fun bit because I've got no idea where I struggle finding my own stream sometimes. Where is it? It's on my channel. And I don't want portrait. I want this one. And then Mash Assassins. Oh, that's funny. So we click return that, and then we come to this, and then we've got to put more stuff on it, and mute me, thank you. Why is it not letting me? No, see, I just clicked that. Why is it not actually letting me? Oh, that's not good. Remove that. Message retracted. Right. Right click. Paste. Ah, there we go. If you want a ninja data, you go there, and now we pin the message. There we go. We got there in the end. We got there in the end. But yeah, mash assassins. I like that. They've not yet been boiled and mashed, but hey, if they get caught, then they will be. And it's not just the potatoes you can get from there. As I said, you can get bear's paws, beer mats, bottle openers, and a few nice little bits. Musings indeed. Musings indeed. Okay, so now we want 43 and 44, and then 45 and 46. And that'll give us all the legs done then. The fact that I've been going for an hour and a half and I've not even realised it is a good thing. But now that I've realised it, it's a bad thing. Because the nicotine monkey's after me again. And I don't like the nicotine monkey. He's a nasty, horrible little... Okay. Because once he gets scratching, he's not very nice. He's not very nice. Things have just gone beep beep and I've got no idea what they're going beep beep for. Because although I turn my media volume down, I forgot to mute it again. Sorry. So any messages I get either via Discord or any other format for that matter comes through and beep beeps on my phone. So now we have the start of 10 Primaris intercessors. Or 10 Space Marine intercessors anyway. Because Primaris don't exist as a thing anymore because they're all just Space Marines now. In 8th they brought out the Primaris Marines as a bigger scale just to, you know, annoy us. Because it's not like we didn't already own bloody hundreds of the damn things. Night Graham, you have a very good sleep, mate, and that table is looking good. That table is looking good. As I said, anyone going to ChillCon, please give our Graham at least a wander over and a look. You might see something you like. It will be Rogue's Den Hobbies table at ChillCon this March. I would have liked to have gone, but I can't afford it. I have other things to spend my money on. And the only reason I managed to get these Space Marines is because I got a very nice Amazon voucher for over Christmas. And, well, it's things that I needed to help carry on and do other things on the channel, so I ordered these. Sparkles was surprised in the speed that I managed to order them, because she mentioned, is there anything you want? And by the time she'd finished going, are you sure? I think I'd basketed and paid for about 6 things. Right, base coats, these and a few other bits. So we now have 10 torsos with legs ready for guns. Oh, that sounds like torture, Twisted. That does sound like torture. But at least there's nobody else nearby, so if you're going to go ape and rah, 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 then you're not going to hurt anyone else. That's good. Right, so next, it's all the extra little bits, I believe. Yeah, it's just the arms, the heads, the backpacks, and any other little bits from there. So... first off, I'm going to want 2 with the underslung grenade launcher, and then which is this one here with the little nodules on there. They're the grenades. So I've got one of them there, and I need to find the other one of these sprues now, which is this one. So we've got one there, and we've got one there. So we do have 2 underslung grenade launchers, which is always good. Then the rest can get bolters to some degree. But we just got to figure out how we pair the bolters up. As I said, making no sergeants. No sergeant models. But everybody's having a helmet. I don't like painting faces. I'm going to nip off briefly, take a small break just to refresh my cup of tea and have a small nicotine break. So, as some of you may be familiar, we get to watch this. See? We get to watch that. Isn't it good? So, I now need to find... In fact, I'm better at... See, I can't get that in and that in on the portrait mode. It's really irritating. Which is why on the portrait mode, I've got to put that all the way to the top like that. And then I've got to get the book out that has the Be Back Soon bit in it. Otherwise, people on portrait mode have no idea what's going on. They can just see a 10% discount for Rogue's 10 Hobbies. Whereas everybody else watching on the big screen can see the fact that I'm Be Back Soon. So this is for the purpose of people who are on portrait mode. That is what... There we go. So that is what that is for. I shall be back soon. And... Oh, music! I forgot music! What music do I want on? What music do I want on? I think we should go back to Arius and the Nation. Arius Nation, there we go. Sorry, not Arius and the Nation, Arius Nation. Because there's two different ones. Same person, different types of channels. And normally we go for the Starbound, don't we? Work out whatever these are. Let's have a listen before I actually put it up for you, because if I don't like it, I'm not having it, am I? Could be worse. So let's mute me, and then I should... Hello everybody, I am back. I need to remove which one? It is the Rogues Den Hobbies. There we go. Hello. Hello Evelyn, hello. Hello, I'm back. Thank you for coming in. I did go for a little break. I needed a fresh drink. I needed to sedate my addiction so it wasn't going on for too much longer. Well, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you so much for joining us. I know you caught me this morning, and I wasn't here for very long, really. I forgot I've got a metal thing attached to that arm, that ding ding dings. Right. So where was we up to? Apart from here with it all. We was doing arms next, weren't we? Arms and backpacks. So we've done all the legs and the torsos and things. So we've got all 10 of these guys now. Including them two. And he wants us to build some weird ones. And I think we have more than enough to build not the weird ones. I think we have enough to build not the weird ones. Because it gives us options for building a sergeant here. Which gives it a gun on one arm, or a hand, or a scanny thing. But it's also using the scanny thing for this fellow up here. And this fellow down here. And this fellow's pointing. I don't want any of them. I don't want to do any of them. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we have one guy with a bolter and a knife, which we should be able to do twice, so that's 7, 8. I'm pretty much saying we can build 9 of them, just as standard bolt guns. So, if we can build 9 with standard bolt guns, we should be able to fit 2 more in without them. I think. So 15 and 16. Let's hope we have a double pair of them. And 50 and 51. We need a double pair, right. So on 15 and 16 times 2. Which I can't remember which sprue it was. You managed a couple of weeks in the forest on your own, Twisted, without... Oof. No. That would do my head in, though. That would do my... Although I did do okay-ish when I tried quitting. Just a few life things got in the way and kind of put me back at square one, and I've not managed to get back up there since, which is not good. So we've got to clip out 15 and 16, and that'll be the arms for the first one. Again, being extra careful because we don't have real snips. We're on wire cutters, going old school before we got all the nice fancy stuff that actually does it properly for us. And then we need to glue that arm in there. So we actually need to glue the arms together first and then slide them onto the torso. That sounds a whole lot easier, doesn't it? It sounds really bloody difficult, actually. But we're going to go ahead and follow how they want us to do it to a degree on this one. Even though I'm not making any sergeants. So we have one guy's arms. And we'll leave that there to dry. And that was 15 and 16, wasn't it? So now I need the other 15 and 16, which is 15 there and 16 there. So they're relatively close. They are relatively close to each other. Yeah. Thank you everyone who's held on and stayed while I had that slight break. Thank you very much for everybody. Not sure how long. I don't think I was away too long. I hope I wasn't away too long. Now, there are going to be some people who may watch this and go, do you drill your barrels out? And the answer to that is no, because this is a make-believe game. So I don't drill the gun barrels out. I don't need to. Why do I need to drill the gun barrels out when it's make-believe? It's not like anything's actually happening. It's not like they're shooting anything or expect any projectiles to come out of it. And I'm also not pinning any bolts to come out of it either. So I don't see the point. No criticising for anyone who does, because there are lots of people who drill the gun barrels out to make them just a little bit more authentic and look a little bit better. I just don't. I don't see the point. If you're wondering, but why? I draw you to the channel name. Just the attention to the channel name is quite easy enough. This is Lazy Mini Painting, not professional mini painting in any way, shape or form. Ah, nice hot cup of tea. You can't beat a nice hot cup of tea. So has anyone else thought of other subscribers that may warrant being the hairy potato? This one. Hairy potato. Tristan. Who would I say are the 3 most known people in the world of all time? Sad to say, some of them aren't very nice people. Some of them are complete twats. I mean total fucking assholes. Dickheads of the biggest regard. One of them, old Adolf, he's pretty fucking famous. For all the wrong reasons. Not the reasons you want to be famous for. He's definitely up there. He's only got about another, 20 years and his legend's reached a century. So, can't really deny him as much as I want to. There are a few other famous people. Did he have to be alive today? You never specified alive, okay. They don't need to be liked. Oh well, as I said, the one that sprung to mind as probably one of the most famous people ever to have lived is an asshole. A complete mass murdering fuckhead. So yeah, he's not a good one. But you have some others. Like our very own Queen Elizabeth II, very famous woman, very famous woman, and for good things. I quite liked my Queen when she was alive. But you've also got some other weird ones, because you've got people that you might not like and I might not like, but they can walk into countries and they are known worldwide. So a lot of people are going to criticise me for this, because I've gone Adolf, I've gone Queen Elizabeth II, and the third and final one is Taylor fucking Swift. Jeez, that woman has, yeah, she's got about a bit, hasn't she? She's got her name out there. Yeah, so yeah, definitely those 3. Taylor Swift being the last one, because, well, she's known world over. Even I know her. I can't name a single song, not a single song by her, but I can recognise her by face and I know her name. And at no point have I had any interest in it. So yeah, those would be my 3 of the most famous of all. But then you've got, see, some people probably, but what about Elvis? Elvis, he was the king of rock and roll. Yeah, but half the kids these days ain't got a fucking clue who he is. Nope. Not got a clue. Bruce Dickinson. Famous in countries you wouldn't even believe. With kids as well. But in the Western world, I see Shakespeare. Shakespeare's another good one, but not a lot of people will know of him. You go walking around some parts of Africa and Asia. Shakespeare's not known. Taylor Swift is fucking known. It's scary how much that woman's got out there. Queen Elizabeth II, obviously, she was the Queen of the Commonwealth. Lots of people knew about her, and she reigned for, what, 1930 something, then right up until, well, this century, not that long ago. Charlie has not been king for long. Again, Newton, Einstein, yeah, brilliant, but only if you're getting taught Western education. And that limits you. Again, you go further east, you go past Europe, and then Einstein and Newton won't be mentioned that much. Taylor Swift, on the other hand, all over the bleeding radio. So, see, there's lots of big names that, yeah, you could make an argument for. Such as Einstein, Newton, Edison, Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Winston Churchill, Mahatma Gandhi. There's loads of them. But once you get outside of certain circles, you don't get seen or heard of much. So those are my picks. One of them, obviously, genocidal mass murdering fuckhead. Lots of people know about him. Some like him, some don't. I'm on the don't like him. See, there's a difference there, Buzzard. Tristan asked for, let's repeat it. Right, who would you say are the 3 most known people in the world of all time? Blake, although not known across the world, is infamous. It would be unfair for me to put Blake in that list because he would take 1, 2, and 3. He would take all 3 positions just because Blake is Blake. Blake is just fantastic. And if you don't know who Blake TV is, you need to do yourself a favour and go find Blake TV on YouTube. That man is just... he's an anomaly. He is an anomaly. He is an accidental comedic genius. An incredibly large-hearted man. But, yeah, it's... Blake TV, to answer that, Tristan, is someone who was my very, when I started my YouTube career, it was on a panel show on YouTube, Friday Night Hangouts with a gentleman called JV, and on that panel show was a regular called Blake. And that was my first introduction to YouTube. That is the first time I got in front of a camera, spoke, did anything like that. And Blake was the man on there. Even though he didn't run it, he directed. He directed the flow of traffic from everyone from the panel to the chat, and just absolutely brilliant. Jesus is not actually a good answer, because there's a lot of people called Jesus. And as soon as you spell it that way, a lot of Mexicans and other people go, Jesus. And yeah, not so much. So who's Tristan's 3 choices? Jesus, MJ. who's MJ. And the funny moustache man, which I've also chosen. So we do have an overlap on that one. The funny moustache man is another way of putting it. I prefer mass murdering fuckhead. So that's just my personal preference, though. And I'm glad he's gone. Oh, Jackson, not so much anymore. Not so much anymore. If you would have asked that question about 10, 15 years ago, I might have said Jackson. But since he became worm food, not so much. Not a nice way of saying that, but hey. But yeah, he's worm food now. He's either worm food or he's a composting agent, whether he got burnt or buried. If he got burnt, that's a lot of toxic stuff going up into the atmosphere, though. Jeez, that man is more plastic than what I'm putting together right now. And he can claim he had whatever disease he wants, but that nose was not normal. Because I know he claims to have the disease that he's obviously because he was a person of colour, or a black man, if you prefer the term. But he said he had that disease where basically the pigmentation on his skin slowly turned pale. So whether or not you believe that bit, that's up to you. But yeah, he was certainly a weird one. Definitely a weird one. Next we need 50 and 51 because we want to do the underslung grenade launchers. Boom! Yeah. Oh, underslung grenade launchers. Grenade launchers are fun. Grenades are fun. It looks like one's gone off. Actually, it looks like a box of them has gone off on my desk. But still, grenades are fun. In a game sense, not in real life. Grenades are horrible, destructive little weapons. No, I'm not sure on that one either. But hey, you know, people is people. I mean, just look at some of the celebrities these days. Oh, fuck. Some of the celebrities are just down and outright just weird. I mean, look at Pammy Anderson. At one point, she was like one of the hottest things on the planet. Now look at her. Jeez. Woman looks like she's just been 14 rounds with a bulldog. And that's after whatever Tommy did to her. Or gave her. And I don't mean children. I mean the square table degenerate type things. Drop it down into an acronym. She looks haggard now. Jeez. So they do all the plasticky things. I mean, not even celebrities. I mean, these people who live near me, and they were pretty women, and now they've got constant, can't move their eyebrows, and they've got lips that look like two bloody sausages. Why people want to do that to themselves, I don't know. Da Vinci over Picasso, I would say. Because Da Vinci wasn't just an artist, he was also an inventor. He's the reason we have a few of our flying devices, or at least the ideas behind them. Because he was looking into the ability for man to fly way before the Wright brothers. So that's always a nice one. So Da Vinci might be able to get in there. But I'm going to stick with my three, though. Yeah. I'm going to stick with my three. Just because, well, mass murdering fuckhead managed to span and get a lot of people involved. All the way over to as far east as we can go. And all the way as far west as we can go. His name was mud everywhere, and rightly so. The Queen, Queen Elizabeth II, just for sheer longevity, I still think she holds the title for longest reigning monarch on the planet. If not, definitely in England, but maybe the planet. Marilyn Monroe, no, definitely not. My kids have no idea who she is. My kids have no idea who she is, and I have one that's close to adulthood, so it's not like they don't get the chance to find out off me or off the mum who these people are. They're just not interested. These are old people. They're interested in their newfangled skibby whatchamacallit. Are there more? There's more wheels. There is far more wheels. Because you've got to bear in mind that for every, even in my house, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I've got 13 doors in my house. I know I have more than 50 wheel circular devices in my house. So definitely more wheels than doors. Definitely. Don't forget, some people will have a house with open plan, so very little doors, so they might only have 6 doors in the house. And then they have 4 fucking cars parked on the driveway, which each one of them has 5 just standard wheels on its own. 4 on the ground and 1 that you stay with. So that already outnumbers them. And then you get people like me who don't drive, but I've still got lots of wheelie type things in my house. I mean, just going off the amount of Hot Wheels in my house, they outnumber the amount of doors that I have. Yeah, he is, Nick. He is. It is a shame. But I would rather remember him and not repeat than forget and repeat. That's how I look at it. If I'm going to do one or the other, I would rather remember him and not repeat what he did than forget about it and then it happens again. Which is why over in England we celebrate every year when we kicked his fucking ass. Considering all the influences of the internet on humanity, would be better off with or without it? You're asking some deep, deep questions here tonight, Tristan. I can't really blame the internet. I can't. It's humans. It's humans that have done that. The internet itself is not that bad. The internet itself is actually a wonderful, wonderful tool. The problem is the tools that are using it. It should never have been allowed to the mass public. Never. But it has. You have mentioned slight biblical things. So to go down that road, essentially the internet has undone the falling of Babylon. If you believe that. So now, when we were split up and made to speak different tongues, so that we could no longer rise up and revolt against a higher deity, whichever one you believe in, no worries, Evelyn. You enjoy school in the morning. I hope that is a nice, fun day for you. And nobody's being an arse towards you. I will give you the same information that I give my son. If anyone tries to bully you, pick up a brick and hit them with it. Well, essentially that's what Babylon did. We built the tower to ascend to the heavens. when we could all communicate and work together. Babylon was destroyed and we were broken up to speak different tongues, so that we could no longer communicate together and act as a singular entity, which is supposedly why we've got Japanese, English, French, German, Cantonese, Russian, American technically, and all the other different languages. It was to break us up so we could never become a unified people. Now we've got the internet and Google Translate. We can unify again and we can talk across language barriers. So which is, as far as I'm aware, what the Tower of Babel was about. We communicated, we put all our knowledge together and we built a tower up to the skies, which is why we've got Tower of Babel, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. We have lots of things that we can no longer, we have no idea how to do, even to this day. Stuff like the pyramids and stuff still confuse a lot of people, even though it is really simple on how they did it. They had precision engineering then, we've had it for thousands of years. How do you think some of the Japanese structures were built so well and are still standing today? They were getting eroded by the sand, which is what the pyramids and the Sphinx have had happen to them, because that desert is slowly spreading across the entire planet. Sorry America, but it's coming across the oceans and it's taking over there, and it's just spreading and spreading and spreading. What we need to do is find some way to stop that sand spreading. Which is I just think too much, so I had that Babylon thing in my head. I've had that for a few years actually. So it's certainly not the first time that I've had that thought of, no, Babylon. Babylon is the internet. And we shouldn't have it. In simple terms, we should not have it. Right, so what's the next one? We need to double up. So we've done the 2 grenade launchers and we've done 15 and 16. So we need 23s and 24s. Get it the right way around, lads, it does help. 23, 24. It's better to overthink than underthink. It has its downsides, because sometimes you don't want to be thinking about the thing you're thinking about. And it's not always deep thinking either. Some of it's stupid thinking. Stupid thinking. Like, how large of a diamond would you need to create artificial gravity on a space station? So if you was to create an artificial planetoid, you're going to have something of high density spinning in the middle to create the pull. And yeah. Okay. Miko, what's your problem? What do you need help with? There's only certain things I can help with. Not everything. Because, well, I have my own issues. Which, the more you watch, will become very apparent. But I'll try and help. If you want to know. Yeah, the overthinking does have its downsides, just like the internet. But the problem is with me, when I come up with ideas like that, I've actually got Sparkles, my missus, who's got a degree in planetary sciences. So when I go, this idea and this idea and this idea, she just shoots me the fuck down and tells me, no, it won't work. So then I have to think of another way to make it work. And I can't think of anything as dense as a diamond. And obviously we're talking huge diamond here, probably similar size-ish to the moon. But yeah, apparently even that won't work. So we're going to have to find out a way to make it. You forgot how to breathe? Yeah, I can't help with that, mate. I really can't help with that. If you've managed to forget how to breathe, you've managed the basic fundamental of the thing that you'll learn immediately as you came out of the womb. You must be extremely intoxicated or very highly medicated to forget how to breathe. And the fact that you've managed to make those 2 questions with the gap in between means you must be doing something. I don't think you've forgotten how to breathe. I just don't think you realise you are still breathing. In which case, what are you smoking, and can I have some? Because if it's that good that you forget how to breathe, jeez, that is getting you wasted. I don't condone drugs, but look, if you're taking them, I can't stop you. Yeah, I don't get the forgetting how to breathe thing. No, I don't think I could. I have to make a conscious effort to stop breathing, but I breathe so heavily it even picks it up on the microphone. So it's not like I could turn around and go, no, you do this, you do this, you do this. It's just so natural to me. I can't not. I don't know how to. How do you tell someone how to physically breathe? I mean, you can naturally in and out, and you can tell someone to breathe and expand the stomach to get the extra breath in, but that's a different form of breathing. You've got to understand how to take the intake in. Perfect timing, Twisted. Perfect timing, mate. That's why. Remember how to breathe in just as you're taking a massive chug on the... Nick, the internet should have been the greatest invention of all time. Yes, it should have been. All of humanity's knowledge in one place. Instead, single fellas are using an AI to generate images of Harry Potter back scuttling Buffy. Oh, they're thinking of worse stuff than that, mate. They're thinking of worse stuff than that. You should see what they've got Lois Griffin doing. Oh, right. I bet you've never seen Lois Griffin, Snow White, and Moana doing stuff they should not be doing. Yeah, we can definitely do without social media. The internet was a great thing. The problem is we don't actually have the internet. What we have is a filter. Now you can choose the name of your own filter, whether it's Yahoo, Google, Edge, Chrome, any of those, the web browsers, and they are just filters. There are other ways to actually get the real internet, but when you go onto the real internet, there's stuff on there you don't want to see and you don't want to do. Usually it requires getting a specific browser plugin, which I'm not going to mention because, well, I don't want to be put on a fucking list. I'm probably already on lists, but I don't want to be put on this list. There's a couple of lists that I don't want to be on, in fact. So, yeah. I'd like to avoid going on them if I can. So, there is a way to get to the real internet, but what we use isn't the real internet. It's a washed out search engine that limits what you can have. Even if you turn off all the... So, if you've got Google, you Google something, as is a very popular term these days. Pretty much the modern day equivalent of I need to nip to the library and find out. I'm showing my age now, aren't I? Because I had to go to the library. So to some degree, yeah, we just get a fancy search engine, and that's it. We don't get access to the deeper parts of the web and the darker parts of the internet. And if we did have full access, I don't think things would be the way they are now. Yeah, pretty much, Tristan. Yeah, if it's text-based and just a big library, I have no problem with that. It's all these social media, as Twisted puts it, it's the social media things, and the other stuff that people are able to do on there. Even this to a degree is a waste of the power of the internet. And I know I'm saying that as I'm talking to people across the country and across the planet, and we're all communicating nicely and we're having conversations, and it's a great way of communicating. And although I'm not abusing it, there are people out there who abuse it, which is not nice. And it's those people that ruin it for everyone. Let's see, before the internet, how many billionaires did you know about? I didn't know about many. Since the internet, I learned about fucking loads. I think the closest to a billionaire I knew about before the internet was the Sultan of Brunei. And that's because he's got all the oil. Very famous man. Probably not known as much now because the internet's out there and people go, yeah, but isn't Elon Musk the richest? And what about Jeff Bezos? Elon Musk is a nutter with Asperger's. I'm not saying he's not got some brains in his head. He's obviously got some brains in his fucking head. You don't get that amount of money by being dumb. But no, he's certainly one or two things short of being a normal human, but that's what puts him to be abnormal. And those that are abnormal, well, they stand out. Would I be comfortable for... Tristan, do me a favour then. If you want to do that, can you join my Discord and we'll have a little chat privately? I'm 50-50 essentially on that question as to whether or not I'd like to be on a video reel. Me being on camera is not the issue, it's context. Because some people may read some of my answers and listen to them and hear them out of context, and as much as I'm a small YouTuber, I really don't want bad publicity for something that's been mistaken. I'm not saying you are going to, but I'd like to know a little bit more about it if that's okay. So pop me a message on Discord, or if you've got a Discord. Discord is in the link down below. Oh wait a minute, you're on Portrait. Is there a click to the main live stream? Or if you go to my actual channel, there is a link to my Discord in there. Completely free, just join up and then DM me. No, that's fine. Yeah, just, as I said, my Discord's free. Join up, pop me a DM. Obviously not while I'm streaming, because, well, I'm streaming. But yeah, we can have a chat about it. I'm actually interested to see who else you've got up as well. And if you'd like any suggestions of who else might be able to go and ask those questions to. Because they're not necessarily easy questions, but they're certainly interesting ones, and there's going to be a few people out there who will have an answer for you, and it may not be the answer that I give, and it may be similar to the answer that I give, but there are lots and lots of people out there who can give answers to those, and I'm genuinely interested. No worries. You pop on and have a look on that, and I'll try and pop on and see what I'm supposed to be doing. So the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've got 4 more to do. So 23 and 24. We've got 23 there, and we have a 24 here. Yeah, so definitely early internet days. But I remember when early into the days, well, obviously Netscape Navigator, where you had to pay for your browser and things like that. We had them in school, and after school, if you was lucky enough, we used to be able to go into the computer room and go on computers. That's when we found out about things called Yahoo chat rooms, and we started trolling people and seeing how long it got us kicked out of a chat room, because we were kids. 14, 15, 16-year-old kids. Actually, not 13 in some cases, because we got it quite early. Maybe even 12, actually, now I think about it. But yeah, we used to go and troll people in Yahoo chat room and see how long it takes us to get kicked out. Shit! I've just dropped a gun. I've just dropped a gun. Oh, I've got things popping up in Discord. At least I think I did. Yes, I did. I saw things picking up in Discord. Doggo with his tongue out. Can't go wrong with a doggo with his tongue out. Yeah, and I'm still not paying that much for OBS Streamlabs. Right, where have I dropped this gun? Bring the light over. And now go looking for grey on grey. I have a great insulated carpet, so if I'm ever doing electrical stuff, I don't zap myself. But on that grey carpet is the exact same bloody colour as these, which does not help when you drop a piece. It is an adorable doggo with the tongue hanging out. Not my personal type of doggo. I prefer medium-sized dogs and larger dogs, but there's a little doggo that's really nice. The Anomaly. The Anomaly. Hopefully, have I missed something? The science guys let me have another hour on screen time since I performed well in their experiments. Excellent! It's always nice to get a bit more time when you need it. Complex? Complex, are you in the... Complex, are you in the portrait mode? Have I got to switch stuff over so I can see full chat again? Why are you not letting me do stuff? Because I can't see what Complex has put in. If Complex is in there, I can't see him. That's not good. Why can't I see people on my portrait mode? That's worrying. That's worrying. I don't like it when that happens. It gets me all confused and kerfuffled. Because I know I've got this one set to live chat, so I can see everything that comes up on the horizontal view. But for some reason, I'm not sure if I've got portrait mode set the same way. And the three little dots aren't working. No. I don't want to do that. I want to... Aha. No, so it doesn't do that there. Okay. So it doesn't tell me I'm missing out on any chat. That's not a great thing, because if Complex Autistus is in there, I can't see you, mate. I can't see you. And I don't like that. I don't like that one bloody bit. So just as we are moving through the arms, as I'm gluing them together to go on to the individual guys, just remember people, we still need a number of names of subscribers. Now you cannot nominate yourself, but you can nominate others. And we have Twisted, Graham, Mick, Joey, Lee, Silvers, Francois, Northern, Karma, EB and Buzzard so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I cannot roll a d12. I cannot roll a d12 for 11 people. Unless, of course, I get a 12, that means a reroll. I suppose I could do that. Alright, so where's this other gun? Where's this other gun? So there's going to be a gun on here that isn't on here, and it's going to be those two. Hey, see that? Process of elimination. Process of elimination. I didn't even need to read numbers. Yeah, it does. It does. I only have a certain degree of privacy on here. Anyone using my content, obviously, I can claim it and go, they're using my. But if you've used it with my consent, then it doesn't matter. I know that. And as I said, I'm quite happy to have a word with you about that. Although, if I say it on my channel, then on my own head be it. If I say it and somebody else clips it and puts it into something else and it's slightly taken out of context, then it's not really me. So I do like to have at least a little bit of a, okay, fair enough. And if it works out, then it could become a regular thing. See, I'm quite happy to do collaborations. I just like to know a little bit about it first, that's all. It's like with the collaboration with the Eclectic Bed. It took us about 2 months to set it up before we did that first initial one, and we've still not managed to set up the second one yet. But that will be going on a separate thing because it didn't do very well. No worries, Tristan, no worries. I know you can clip, and to a certain degree you will have creative control, and if you've only clipped a small part of my stream and then a small part of somebody else's, you made a half-an-hour video and you've only took 30 seconds of me, you have changed it enough and you have used small amounts, not a problem. It's more curiosity than anything else. Also, if you have any other ideas for the future and other types of questions you'd like to go, well, can I ask you these on stream? And we can go, yeah, yay, yay, nay, yay, nay, yay, nay. If you want to ask me more questions. And as you've already pointed out, I've given a couple of answers that you weren't expecting and you've not had before. I do have a tendency to do that. Not all the time, but occasionally I'll just come with a slightly left field answer. Which is why some people like to bounce ideas off me. Because they get a slightly different perspective with my mental state being the way it is. Not right. See, I can't see complex. Where's complex? Is he popping up on there? Right, I'm just going to make the chat box bigger so hopefully I can try and read it. No worries, Complex. Thank you very much. You have a good night, mate. I've not been able... Right, okay. We's having a conversation in here. But I'm apparently missing out on some of it. I wasn't aware that conversation. But you stay safe, mate. Thank you for coming in. Yeah, for some reason though, Tristan, I'm not seeing it on the actual portrait screen, and I'm not seeing it on the big chat either. Supposed legal issues? Okay, you're gonna have to explain that, because I'm not sure what legal issues I've broken. Or you've broken, for that matter. Because you do get fair use on YouTube. I'm aware of this. And that includes using other people's channels. As long as you credit them, there's nothing much really that can be done, even if they wanted to, providing there is no defamation of character or nothing's liable or anything like that. Nadian, it's not quite a one-on-one live stream. It's just that I can only react to what's chatting and what I can see. So at this moment in time, Tristan's doing a lot of the chatting. So I get to react to Tristan's chatting. By all means, if chat away, and I will answer to you as well as everybody else who's over in horizontal mode. As you know, Twisted, I will answer your questions. And Buzzard, you can chirp up whenever you want and say things. I have no... Yeah, I don't really... I can only react to what comes up on the chats, and I do have two to keep an eye on, which is confusing for me because I can't actually read the one that everyone else sees on screen. That's all jumbled together. No worries, man. No worries. Right, just to give anybody new here a quick what's up with my channel. This is therapy for me. This isn't... Right, some people come on YouTube to do it as a living. Or some people come on YouTube to do it as a potential living and see if they can make it. I come on YouTube because I have ADHD, I have a non-epileptic attack disorder, and this is all therapy for me. All therapy for me. So it's weird. It's weird. If I end up making money out of it, fine. But I've been doing this for 4 years now. 4 years, and I do not make a... Well, I do not make a penny. I have one Patreon subscriber, and a couple of people have done the buy me a coffee thing. So I have made a little bit of money. But yeah, I don't do this for a monetary gain. I do this for therapy, and anyone who wants to come and chat with me while I'm doing it, I'm more than thankful for, because you helped me get through doing this. Because you imagine how boring it is just doing this and having to make things up because you've got no one to talk to. But Percy, I'm not sure who your brother is. I do hope he does all right. But yeah, if your brother's not well, I hope they do come through whatever it is they're going through, because hard things to go through are hard things to go through, and you do need support when you're coming through. So good luck to your brother on that one. Good luck to your brother. I also have family members who are not in good condition, so I can slightly relate. I don't know the exact details, but yeah, my sister's in my mind a lot because of her condition. So I hope your brother does pull through whatever condition he's in. I do. I'm just going to try and keep up to make sure I am actually keeping up with everything that's happening in here. I believe I missed something a moment ago. Nadia, this is me building 10 Primaris intercessors. Now I'm building these to replace other models that I'll be cutting the arms off and attaching missile launchers to make a different unit. But before I can make that different unit, I'm building the replacement models. Fairly simple. He says, do 2 loading a magazine. Should I do 2 loading a magazine? Or should I just do like 47 and 48, which is just standard? Yeah, I've got a gun. Or do 1 holding it up, slapping a magazine in. Thank you very much, Nadia. Thank you. I mean, well, a lot of us have issues that either we go through ourselves or we go through with family. This channel particularly, it's one of those places where people are going through shit. We've got shit we're going through, and it ain't fun, and it ain't good, and we prefer not to go through it. But life is what life is, and you make the best of it as what you can. You either laugh or you cry, and I prefer to laugh. So, yeah. It's funny. Life's a funny old thing. Because I refuse to let it break me. I am not going to let this thing break me. It's been trying for 7 years now. And it ain't gonna win. I refuse to let it. Thank you very much, Tristan. As I said, I'll message you back once I'm free. Just a quick question: are you Europe side or are you US side? Just so I can try and get the timings. Because if you're US side, I know I've got a little bit longer into the evening, and don't message you first thing in the morning because it's ridiculous o'clock for you. Or if you're Europe, then I know you're on more my time. Right, Nadia, what I'm doing is these models are for something called Warhammer 40,000. So here we go. So this is the box that they come in. Okay, and in this box you get these 10 guys, and these are loaded up with what you call a bolter or a bolt rifle. Now I have 70 odd of these, about 75 of these type of models already. But I have missile launchers and I would like a heavy weapons unit. So what I'm doing is I'm making these ones up because these are the multi-part kit, so you can have them varied about and different poses and things. Then I'm going to get a load of the easy build ones, which are ones that just clip together, don't need glue, and I'm going to chop the arms off, and I'm going to attach missile launcher arms that I got from Rogues Den Hobbies, which is a third-party retailer for resin models, usually game agnostic, so it's not specifically for Warhammer 40,000. They just happen to have missile launchers. So I'm going to chop off the hands of a lot of the easy build intercessors, which are similar to these, and then equip missile launchers on them. But that means that I'm going to lose 10 intercessors. So I go from 75 to 65, and I don't like that. So I bought 10 more so I can stay at 75 and still have the 10 missile launcher guys. So in this case I'm just making up the replacements before next week I start hacking things up and trying to pin and glue resin to plastic, which is going to do. I'm going to need super glue for that. I'm definitely going to need super glue for that. Where am I? You have Tyranids. I'm in Manchester. I also have Tyranids. I have Imperial Guard. I have Eldar. I have Orcs. I have standard Mark 10 armies. I have heavy Mark 10 armies. I have Terminator armies. I have too much Geek Warhammer. But yes, I'm in Manchester. I am in Manchester. I work 9 to 5, anytime from 6 PM to midnight should be good for you. I'm guessing that means Nomad. You are from Birmingham. I'm not too bad, Mucker. I'm not too bad. And Tristan, you're in the UK as well, so yes. Yeah, I'm not too bad, Arkid. I'm not too bad. How's you? You having a good day? You had a good one so far? I hope so. I hope you've had a good day. I've had an uneventful day, which is good for me. I've only had one lockup from one of my my issues, and I have not been able to get thinking right because of my other issue. It's a fun day, so I'm doing okay. I hope everybody else is. You're in Swindon. Wow, that's close, man. James, that's stupidly close. That is stupid. Well, no, it's not, because Greater Manchester's a pretty big fucking area now I think about it. But it's close enough that it's, because we're both in Greater Manchester, we are 2 bus rides away from each other. Because no matter where you are in Manchester, you are only ever 2 bus rides away from another place. Because you go into the centre and then just come out again to the other one. It just depends whether or not you've got to get on at Piccadilly Gardens, Shoedale, or near the Piccadilly train station. And that route. It just depends where you have to go get your buses from. But definitely we are. Yeah. Oh, Wiltshire. Swindon, not Swinton. There's 2. There's Swindon and there's Swinton. Swinton is in Manchester, Swindon isn't. Thank you for the reminder. I always forget that. Because I hear Swindon and then I automatically think Swinton. And it's not right, is it? Right, so we've got 50. Oh, 52 and 53 go together. But I want the other Slappy Magazine one. Where's the other Slappy Magazine one? There it is. 56 and 57, the other 2 Slappy Magazine ones. And Nadia, you're from India. Wow. I think you might be my first ever viewer from India. Thank you very much for coming to join us. It must be late for you. It must be getting quite late for you. In fact, very late. Wow, because it's gone midnight for me. I've read some of them, James. I've not read them all. Because let's face it, when it comes to Warhammer books, they're all a bit the same. Because after all, there is only war. And there's only so many times you can read a book that's about only war. I mean, they do put lots of characters in and try and spin it in many different... But it boils down to, we're taking part in this war. And we're doing this in this war. I mean, I got about 20 odd books through the Horus Heresy. And I'd just give up. I had the Ultramarines Omnibus. I give up on that as well because it was just getting just so stupid and just repetitive at that point. It was really repetitive. So I stopped reading the books. And there are a lot of books. There's almost as many bloody books as there are miniatures. So that doesn't help. Wow, 5... It's nearly 6 AM for you? Wow, thank you, Nadia. That is like 6... I don't see 6 in the morning. I'm usually medicated, but I don't see 6 in the morning. I don't think I've seen 6 in the morning for... Last time I saw 6 o'clock in the morning, I was up all night. as opposed to waking up that early. And I've managed to lose my hand that's slapping in the magazine. Where's my magazine slappy hand? I've lost my magazine slappy hand. Oh, whoop. Phone's just gone nuts. Aha! Right, no, now I know why it's gone nuts. Thank you, Tristan. That explained it a lot. Phone just gone crazy. But where is... Ah, there it is. That's the magazine slappy hand. I found it. Night, James, you have a good one. You have a good one. Thank you very much for coming in and spending your time with us. I say us because there's people in chat as well. I do encourage my chat people to talk to each other, but I also encourage my people in my chat to absolutely berate anyone who comes in spamming or trying to cause trouble. So if you ever sat in one of my chat rooms and somebody comes in spouting stupid stuff and trying to be disruptive, it's a race between me, the chat, and the moderators. I'm going to rip into you, the chat's going to rip into you, and that's, if you're lucky, the moderators time you out first. But other than that, it's a relatively chill stream place. We just don't suffer for idiots. So as long as you're nice and you good, you's nice and you good. So you sleep post 6 in the morning. I'm guessing you work nights then. That's about the only reason I can think of, apart from trying to do timescales or insomnia. Insomnia would be a good reason, I suppose. Alright, now we need to cut out an absolute crap ton of these little things to clip onto. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does he need one? Nope. 6, 7, 8. So we need 8. We need 8 little extra bits to go onto the guns. Now I could give them all scopes. So let's zoom in a bit of this so we can see. So I can either give them scopes with these barrels, or I can give them these slightly bigger underslung sections. I have quite a few of those, so I should be able to do them all with scopes or all without scopes. Oh, he's not too sure what to do. He's not too sure what to do at all. We have a lot of 68s, we have a lot of 66s, and we have a lot of 67s. And that's the 3 different types of bolt. So when they originally brought the Primaris intercessors out, you had 3 different types of guns. You had the assault bolt rifle, you had the Stalker bolt rifle, and you had the standard bolt rifle. So the assault bolt rifle was one without a scope. It was 4 shots, no AP, just 24-inch range. The standard bolt rifle, which is the slightly curved one with the smaller scope, 30-inch range, rapid fire, as used, basically a bolt gun with an extra 6 inches and an extra AP. And then you had the sniper variant, which was 36-inch range, singular shot, heavy, better. Oh, well, I have been known to drop a few people to sleep, so you may have stumbled into accidentally the right place. Get yourself comfy, get yourself laid down, leave me on as ASMR. Many people have done it, and apparently it works. I've never tried it, but then again, I'm sat in front of the camera, so if I fall asleep here, there's something seriously wrong. But I think I'm going to go for the longer sights. Just because it's a nice flat one to clip out rather than any curves. Now, trying to get these wire cutters into this tiny little section here without clipping too much off is difficult. So we're going to try just snippy, very carefully. these ones here. Now what they do is they've got a little slot down the side there, you see? And that slot goes in there. So you would glue it in like so, and then you get a finished bolt rifle. That's how they customized it when it came to 8th edition. Now, all that means jack diddly shit, because it's just a bolt rifle. They don't get to change the things around like that. They don't get different types of bolt rifle, it's just one stat line now. So, being that I prefer the longer sights, I'm going to go down that route. So, let's try and finish off one guy at a time now. So he has his bolt rifle finished, he needs a backpack, he needs a head, and he needs a sidearm. So he has his bolt pistol sidearm here, which will be glued to his belt. I've got to paint all these as well, haven't I? I thought I was done painting Space Marines. So much for that idea. So, let's turn you around a second there, Chief. Come on, fella. Come on. And we're going to glue that onto there. And now he has a pistol and his grenade pouches. And I've just realised I've done that wrong, because that's going to get in the way of his backpack. So that's got to go more around that side. So now it doesn't get in the way of his backpack. Oh, I've done that wrong again, because no, it's going to have to go that way around. Unless it's supposed to go down his crotch. Is it supposed to go down his crotch? If it's supposed to go down his crotch, I'm not quite sure how I'm supposed to shove it up there. And no, I'm not going to try pegging him. For those of you who was here earlier. I just want to try and keep it out of the way of the backpack so I can put the backpack on. Neddy, I'm so excited to know by when I will be done. As I said, you just bumped into the stream, and this particular project is probably not the best one for you to come and watch. However, that being said, on Thursdays I do my D&D one, and I'm very nearly finished. I've got 4 characters left, the bar and the top floor to finish, and then that's that entire project finished. I've been working on that for like a year. So yeah, Thursdays is probably the better one if you want to try and catch me completing one. But these are gonna my Space Marines have been a 20 odd year long project, and I'm still making changes in it. So Space Marines will never truly be finished until I've got 1,000 of them, and I've not yet got 500. So it might take me a while to finish my Space Marines. The Red Wolf. Yeah, you've noticed I've got a bald head, mate. Well done. I do have a bald head. By choice. Because, damn, I look hot. Backpack. Backpack. There's one. Twisted. That's why you grabbed a few figures that aren't Warhammer. You're usually painting Marines or nuns. It is nice to have that change up. As I said, I usually do Warhammer on Mondays, just so I'm not constantly doing Warhammer, because that's how I started, and it was just Warhammer all the time, and it gets a bit repetitive. It does. It gets very bloody repetitive. So it was a nice change of pace for me to go over to like D&D characters, and as much of a headache as the Cats and Catacombs characters caused me, that also was a very nice break from doing Warhammer in general. It was just something different. So it was nice. But I do like to come back to it every now and again. So how you doing, Red Wolf? Are you also a beautiful bald man? Or are you one of those very few people who are jealous because you've got hair? Whereas I don't have to bother brushing. I don't have to bother... Yep. Shampoo. What's that? Don't need it. Hair conditioner. Pfft. For wusses. I just get my skull shave and over the lot. Boom, it is done. Twisted, go check out Graham. Go check out Rogue's Den Hobbies. He has an awesome dragon on there that I want to paint. Have a good night, Nadia. Thank you for coming to join us, and I look forward to seeing you on Thursday. I look forward to seeing you on Thursday when I get to come back. I usually finish at least one model on a Thursday, so I'll start it and I'll finish it. Hopefully I'm going to finish 2 this Thursday though. 2 is the plan. I want to get a character and a familiar completed by the end of Thursday. I have everybody on the residential side done now, so it's mostly just the either evil or unlawful ones to go on the mountain side left to do. Those are the ones I have left. So it's I think is the penguin, the gunslinger crow, which is named Northern, the crittery creature, and the weird dragony familiar, which I'm not actually sure what type of creature it is to begin with. It's just weird. But yeah, I've got one of them to do as well. And they're all over there at the moment in a separate area. Once I finish them, I've got to do all the stat sheets, and then I've got to try and set up at least a one-shot for people to play. I'm not sure how many people I'm going to ask, or yeah, there's going to be a limit to how many players I can manage at a table at once, or at a virtual table, should I say, or on a Discord server. So we'll see by the end of that, but I do have over 30 characters potentially to be played. And they're ranging anything from warriors, paladins, druids, bards, rogues, barbarians. There'll be a class of pretty much anything. If you rather play a class, there'll probably be a character with that class. Right, one more backpack. Oh no, wait a minute. No, yeah, I'm doing the slappy gun ones yet. They don't have the bits that go on the gun. I don't have to put sights on them. I just have to get the backpacks and the heads off. There's another backpack. And another head. That's easy enough. Right. So we want to get the head looking like he's actually trying to load his gun, because he is. So he does kind of want to be looking slightly down at what he's doing. See? No, you can't, because I didn't zoom in, because I'm an idiot. So he does what we're kind of looking what he's doing, which is slapping his new cartridge or his new magazine straight into his bolter. You hadn't checked Graham yet. Oh, I feel betrayed. I'm joking. But Graham does have a nice dragon on there. That is what essentially it's going to be a discussion between me and Sparkles whether or not I get a dragon or I end up with a crap load of cats. I've got a feeling I'm going to end up with a crap load of cats. But in the meantime, I do have the doggies to do. Including my favourite dog, who's cocking his leg and having a diddle. Or a piss, depending on how you want to call it. I say diddle. It sounds better to me. Right. So eventually, once I've got this, it's just going to be a crap load of shoulder pad, shoulder pad, shoulder pad, shoulder pad, shoulder pad. Yes! I just got to go around finding all the bits that I need now. So let's conveyor this thing. You lot need doing, and you all need one of those. I hear people, I hear humans, they are coming down the stairs. Now, it could be one of 4 people, and as long as it's not the youngest, I'm fine. The youngest should definitely be in bed by now. So we have the bit for the gun, we have the backpack, they do, don't they? Some of those cats are really, really nice, but I can't get any until after October. I've been told by no uncertain terms, am I allowed to go out and make any large purchases or any mediumish purchases until after October. Then we're coming up to Christmas time, aren't we? So then I get to go, now that we're not saving, and we're not, because the wedding and everything takes money. Once that's done, I can ask for a dragon. And that's when Sparkles go, well, if you want it for painting, wouldn't cats go a lot better? And then I go, no, I want to paint a dragon. And then she goes, but... And at that point, she's going to be my wife, so there's not much I'm going to be able to do. And I'm going to end up painting cats. See, I'm not stupid. He's not stupid. I know how these things work. I know exactly how these things work. And when wife says, you got to get this one, you get that one. Especially when you're looking to get something else that's a hell of a lot more expensive. So I am going to be looking for kitty cats. I think I'm going to be looking at the kitty cats next. Which ones? I have no idea. I'm going to leave that for Sparkles and Graham to sort out between them. I'm just going to be the nice little chappy who gets to paint them all. Backpack thing. Not all of them will be getting a... Oh, sugar. I should really give all of them a sidearm, shouldn't I? Ooh, I hear hot chocolate. I hear hot chocolate. It's the only reason the microwave goes. At this time of night, anyway. So, how many on there have not got sidearms? 3. 3 do not have sidearms. So let's now start clipping out the sidearms. And because I've got the backpack on, I should be able to make sure that they fit properly. You see, so your wife's good for gnomes. My wife knows I would never get a gnome because I hate them. I have probably an irrational hatred towards gnomes. There should be no reason really for me to dislike those porcelain little things that much, but I really don't like them. But if it's a cat, I'm fine. I'm fine. I can buy cats. Because Sparkles likes cats. I know Sparkles likes cats because she bought bloody 12 of them for me to paint. Going on him. I'm going on him. This one's lasted a while, hasn't it, this stream? This one's taken a long time. It's like 3 hours. It's been a 3-hour stream. Usually I usually don't go this long. I'm feeling a little bit worried now. Should I have gone this long? I'm not sure. I am not sure. I do know I have things to do off camera once I've finished, including messaging a couple of people regarding question time with Laz. And that's what I'm going to call it for now. But essentially that's what it was. Oh, I'm getting beeps and I'm not sure where I'm getting beeps from. Okay. Right. Okie dokie. Thank you, people. Thank you. I mean, I do try to give and try to be as open and as approachable as possible on here, but I do require people to take into account my naivety, and some of you are not quite as naive, so you do help me out quite a bit. So thank you for those people who sent those messages through. I will be taking that into account. Thank you very much. You have a set of... Please don't. I don't like gnomes. I don't like gnomes. The first thing I want to do is take a cricket bat to them. I don't like gnomes. I really don't like them. As I said, it's an irrational thing. Definitely an irrational thing. But I don't like gnomes. Gnomes are devious, nasty little things. Oh, it's very, very, very... I don't know, it's weird, isn't it? It's weird. But yeah, no gnomes. No gnomes! I do not like the gnomes. So I'm going to have a quick chat with a couple of people, I think. But I'm going to have to get all these glued in. I will be finishing them off tonight to the point of ready for priming and getting all snazzied up and painted. Just going to have to do a few things, like checking terms and conditions of YouTube to make sure I'm not breaking anything in the future. I certainly don't want to be breaking terms and conditions and getting my channel banned. So I will keep an eye out on things. I know one or two people have spoke to me and reached out regarding a couple of things on tonight's stream. So I will be looking into that. Thank you very much. I think it's the fact that I'm a little too welcoming and a little bit too willing to give. It's definitely one of my downsides. And my good sides as well. Because that, as far as I'm aware, makes me slightly more approachable. And not so much of a weird person behind the camera. But it does mean I also get pulled into a lot of things that maybe I shouldn't. So, for those of you who have realised what I'm talking about, and if you as well, if you wish to enlighten me, please feel free to. You know I will take constructive criticism as exactly what it is. It is constructive criticism. It's not somebody having a go at me. It's somebody trying to look out for me. So I will definitely take those into account. But please, Twisted, don't send me pictures of gnomes. Please don't. No. No. I mean, by all means, you can put them in the server, but yeah, I don't like gnomes. 5 more to do, and I'm missing a sprue. That'll be this here sprue here. So that means that's my other. So that's my 2 ones with the. Yes, I'm going to need 5 of them off now. Which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All them. Good. Goody goody gumdrops. If I can get my clippers in there, which I can just about. That one, and which one is it I've missed? It's that one up there that I've missed. And this is the hardest one to. Yep, that just went down there. Luckily I have spares. See, I knew you'd get it. I knew you'd get it. Two, 3. This is number 3. And then number 4. And then go back to the other sprue for number 5. Which is all the way on to this one. There we go. It's the advantage of having 2 of the exact same sprue. And then not using all of the same gun. Them slappy magazine ones, they made it easier. Now I need 5 sidearms. So 1. Which that one's an 83. I'm going to use another 83 and then an 84. So it's 2. Can't get in there. You've just done it once, why aren't you doing it now? 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to take an 82 to make the 4th. And then back to the other sprue to go for another 83 by the looks of it, because that's what's available. I mean, I could go for an 80, but there's no sidearm attached to the 80, so I'll keep it, because he's supposed to have a bolt pistol. Standard lowered out bolt pistol, bolt rifle. 4. And now I need 4 backpacks. And then I need 20 shoulder pads. You heard me right, 20 shoulder pads. And 5 heads. So there's one backpack, one of them, guy done. One of them, and a backpack. Another guy done. Well, another guy ready. one of them, and a dude. And yes, they are all dudes, despite what people might want to do in the law. Sorry to tell you this, people, all Space Marines are men. Female genetic structure is not built to be stripped apart, add an extra heart, add an extra lung, take off your tallywhacker and your veg, and leave you in a very, very angry state for the rest of your centuries long life. Because obviously you ain't pulling your pud and you ain't getting none. So that's why Space Marines are always ready for a fight, you see. And you can give me all the lore ideas you want, but I think it's that one. That guy goes there, and he gets one of them, and he gets one of them. And that leaves this guy down here to get this backpack. And then I need to clip heads out. So I'm just going to do all the snippies, and then all the gluey. The gooey gluey. Gooey gluey. 5 helmeted heads. Let's hold them before I clip them out, eh? So they don't just go bouncing on the floor. As we know, stuff has a tendency to want to do from Warhammer 40,000. If there is a grey carpet anywhere near, or a carpet they can get lost on, they will make a beeline for it. So we try our best to keep hold of them as we're snipping them off, so that they don't disappear all over the floor. Finding grey heads on a grey carpet is not fun. And as I said, I've been going for 3.5 hours now. I do not wish to spend 45 minutes looking for one piece. So glue these bits on, and then after that it is just the shoulder pads, and then I'm going to get a dice as well as the list of names, and I'm going to roll them to find out who is the hairy potato. That sounds really weird, doesn't it? It is a bit odd, in fairness. I've got a hairy potato. 2 ninjas and a hairy one. So if you are a subscriber and you have been for a while and you don't feel too bad about the fact that you've spoken in here and you chatted away, you cannot vote for yourself, and I'm afraid Ali is exempt from being chosen because Ali is the bunny barbarian. But everybody else, as far as I'm aware, is fair game, providing somebody else nominates them. So Twisted, you cannot nominate you. Ali has already done it for you. Luckily for that. As she's nominated Buzzard and Graham and all sorts of people actually. Nick has already got one because he sent them, as well as Mandy, the lovely lady who made them. She's already, one is named after her. Obviously my Sparkles and Oak have already been named after my missus, so it's not like I've not named things after her as well. So I need one more subscriber to at least put into the D20 or D12 roulette to find out who's going to be the hairy spud. I think Francois was one of the last few to go on there. As well as Northern and a couple of others. So once I've done these, I'm going to do the D12 roll. And that will be the last thing that I do this evening. But I have a lot of gluing to do first. A lot of gluing. You're looking forward to painting the Abbeys though. Have you ordered the Abbeys yet? Twisted? Who am I kidding? Of course you did. You ordered them as soon as you saw them. Almost as bad as Sparkles when it comes to that. Here's the question though. Did you use my discount code? Because if you didn't, then that's just silly. Well, you might not have, because you may have done other things, but if you didn't, then you should have used my discount code. If nothing, it saves you 10%. And obviously, shipping overseas, 10% could be quite a chunk. So he's all headed up. And next one. I mean, I've still got all the shoulder pads to do and all that, but shoulder pads are easy. Shoulder pads are simple. These ones are a little bit more fiddly. You have not ordered them yet. Yet being the key word in that sentence. Which means they will be getting ordered, just not yet. I've got a couple of other things to sort out first. Then once that's sorted, I'll be ordering. At least the Abbeys. If not a few more of the others as well. With you being a very good cat lover. A very, very big cat lover. See, I've not had a full look at what's available yet. I mean, I know the full range, but there's knowing the full range and there's knowing what's available to order. Because they obviously they don't just come as one big rock. You order the sets that you require. Because who in their right mind would order an absolute butt ton of models first? Who on earth would order an absolute butt ton of models with no idea of what they're going to do with them? That would be me, and I spend a year making a diorama for them. But I won't be going back to that retailer. So I'm alright on that one. I just need to clean up that little bit in there, and then try and reattach his backpack so it stays. So hopefully I got it while it was still relatively wet. There we go. 2 more to go, and then it's all the shoulder pads. Whew. Hello, Alex. Thank you very much. Hydration. Thank you for the reminder and welcoming. Thank you for coming. Thank you very much. I hope you've had a good day. I mean, technically the day's only an hour long, so for me it is anyway. So it's been a reasonably good hour long day so far. All I've done is build Warhammer. Putting Space Marine intercessors together. That's what my day has consisted of so far. But as I said, it's only an hour long for me, so it's got time to change. It has got time to change. I mean, I've still got to sleep yet. That could be that could be something all unto itself, just trying to do that. Now, I have remembered to take my medication, but yeah, we'll see. I'm not to the point where the medication doesn't help me sleep anymore. It was never supposed to help me sleep. It was just a happy side effect. But yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll get a nice kip tonight. I'll be up nice and early in the morning. Well, I say nice, and I'll be up early in the morning for me, which means I actually get up in the morning, not the afternoon. Because medication as good as it is, and as I said, it used to help me sleep. Now it just makes me sleepy in the morning. It's a complete opposite bloody side. Take it at night, and it affects me in the morning. Bloody wonderful. Ah, you're a UKer as well. Okay, so yeah, it's an hour long day for you so far as well. I mean, not really much can go wrong in the first hour of the day. Touch wood, because a lot could actually go wrong, but it hasn't, so we're alright. Just popping bits of glue. Popping bits of plastic onto each other. And then we've just got to chop out 20 shoulder pads. 20! And I've just not decided I'm off. I've just not decided I'm off because he's a puny me. Sorry. The voices in my head come out now every now and again. And I don't get much of a say in the matter. I get a little bit of a say in the matter, just not too much. So, it's not too bad. So, anybody who is still watching, thank you very much. I hope you're enjoying what it is I'm doing right now. Very quickly coming towards the abrupt end of this, because it will be an abrupt end once I've done these 20 shoulder pads. So I need 10 blanks. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10 on that one. Oh no, I can do more blank. Oh good. Because if I've got 10 on this one, that's 5 guys, and if I've got 2 sets of this brew, that's obviously 10 guys. Now I do have lots of other little bits, knives, purity seals, and various different little tweaks and bits to customize them. I will probably save them for when I finally narrow it down to who the sergeants are going to be, and they'll get all the extra stuff. So for now I'm just going to clip out all the plain shoulder pads, just the plain old shoulder pads. None of the ones with studs on, none of the ones with ribbons or braids or Death Watch insignia or anything like that. Just plain old, normal, turtle shell style shoulder pads. There's big thick flat ones. About 20 of the bloody things. I mean, if you're going to save anything to last, you save the most mind-numbing, monotonous ones. So that's one set of shoulder pads, and here is the other set. So that should be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So that's 5 guys. 1. So that's 6 guys. 7 guys. Oh, this is taking a while. Oh, you're starting on the Champion's Power Sword. Oh, now this is the bit that's going to have the wire glued to it, isn't it? So it looks like the energy's crackling off and burning the... Oh, I want to spoil it for the people who haven't seen it. Please go watch Twisted Nerve Painting's channel. He will put this up eventually once he's finished. He's just working through it very nicely. If you want to go look in the work in project section on my Discord, it is in there also. And it does look very nice. Very, very, very nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Just making sure I've got the right amount. I'm not missing any. 9. and last 2 to make the 10. Full 10-man squad. Full 10-man squad. So then these will need priming eventually, and then painting up. But as I said, I have a fair few of these already, so it's not like it's a high priority to get these ones painted. I would like them painted because I don't like having piles of grey shame, but we'll do what we have to. First of all, I want the Desolation Marines. I like missile launchers. I want something that if somebody decides, I'm going to take your Imperial Guard army against you, I can at least have a chance of not getting tanked off the table, because I have 7 Leman Russes and a fucking Baneblade. A bunch of bolt rifles ain't going to do jack to that. So I just need missile launchers and las cannons and big things. Very big things. Oh, Raw's already started. I'm like way late. I'm really late. I was supposed to watch the wrestling. I don't think I'll get the chance to now. Right. Because I've only got 11 names out of the 12, I am going to throw one more name onto it. Now this person is not a subscriber, so I will be breaking my own rule for this, but it is to finish off just the last name. So he's going to have to roll a 12 to get this one. He is going to have to roll a 12. Watch me roll a fucking 12 with it now. But unless somebody can give me the 12th number before I finish this, the last name will be this last name. I'm not going to say what the last name is until I actually get there, in case somebody gives me a better one. As I said, I would prefer subscribers. Especially long-term subscribers. And especially people who come in to see. So I would prefer that to happen. But if it doesn't, then I will go through the list of subscribers and people who have at least attempted to maybe help the channel a bit. So a lot of you are already on there, so we're okay with that. I think the main people have been hit on, that are allowed to be on anyway. As I said, Sparkles and Ali have already had namesakes created on the channel. Heck, Sparkles has got an entire project dedicated to her, so in fact she's had several. All the Cats and Catacombs and the Magical Wood, Sparkles and Oak. All for Sparkles. So she will be getting more in the future, do not worry. It's just, I'd like to give something, or at least have something for the rest of you to show my appreciation. As I said, the first 2 have already been named by the person who named after the person who sent them to me, and the one who made them, which is Nick and Mandy. So as nobody has done this name, I think this one should go on. Especially as they are a moderator as well. And you only get to be a moderator through longevity and being here. And being a nice person. And agreeing to it. You do have to agree to it. Some people are made moderators without, but yeah, you do have to agree to it. Usually. I think the only people who got made moderators without consent were the Discord moderators. Okay, I've got a feeling that might just cause an argument, but never mind, we'll find out. I have a feeling something may have happened on my channel tonight that I'm not fully aware of. Because I didn't get to see a lot of the chat that was going on for a while. And apparently there might have been one or two complications going on that I didn't notice. Because for some reason I wasn't getting all of the chat. And I'm not sure why. What I would like to know and be able to go back and have a look. Problem is, I can't do it right now until the VOD's finished sorting itself out. Which is when it turns from a live stream into a video. You can watch it as a live stream for so long, but once the live stream finishes, it does kind of boot you out, so you can't comment on things, and then it turns into a VOD. Last 3, guys. Last 3. So that's 6 shoulder pads. One. I'm going to need more glue soon. Not right now, but eventually. You know that when you can start hearing the air getting sucked back through. Once that starts happening, you know you're running out of glue. Just even off that edges towards the bottom of the shoulders, and then pop that over that side and get the other one. A bit of glue in there as well, and pop that on the other side. So I believe there's only this chappy here left to go with these 2 very special little shoulder pads, and they're special because they're the last 2. And then I get to write the other name down, and then we get to roll a, well, I say roll a d12. I think I have Sparkles' spinny dice to hand, so I'm going to use that instead because it's easier. I don't need a dice tray. I just have to watch where the white arrow points. There we go. So we now have the 10-man intercessors. 10 intercessors to replace the ones that I'm going to chop up to bits to put missile launchers on. Okay. And out of all the names that got mentioned, Kirsty was left off. So that is going down as number 12. So we have the 12 names for the Hairy Spud. See him here? The Hairy Spud Ninja. We now have 12 names. I've now got to get a D12. And I don't mean the M&M's rap group. I mean a dice that has 12 sides. Or in this case, a dice that has 12 numbers on it. So there's the nice D12. Okay. And what we want is whichever one this is pointing to. You give it a good spin like that, and we get 11, which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 is that one. Buzzard, you are the hairy potato. Congratulations. Hairy ninja potato beaky buzzard. So we've named the last potato tonight as well. So we have Mandy, we have Nick, and we have Buzzard, who are the 3 ninja potatoes, who will be joining me on every stream in spirit, if not in actually being here. Although Buzzard is usually here, in fairness. And that, thank you very much for everyone who's come to see me this evening, is the end of the stream. So, anyone who has subscribed tonight, thank you. Anyone who's hit the like button, I hope you get your money and I hope you slaps it hard enough. Please do it again. If you've not, or at least slap it once, make sure, get that like button hit. Who knows, you might get some money, your money back out of it. Who knows. But thank you everybody who's come to see me this evening, who's come to spend your time with me, who's messaged me, who's reached out, who's helped this stream be what it is tonight. You have all been just as much a part of it as me. Thank you very much. Please drive safe, and I will see you on